Hello, hello. I am shifting around my power cord, so sorry if there is a little bit of wiggling going on. Just trying to make sure that things are out of the way before I go ahead and try to get started. And I want to make sure that my camera is nice and in focus and in frame so that we're not getting anything weird going on. Hey, Angela. Okay, so apparently there's an ad on my playback. Hey, Fatima. Okay, so sorry about the glare. I don't really know how to get rid of that. But I have my gel press out, and my mom came over today, and we played for a while. Hey, Wilda. Hey, Evilise. Hey, B. We played for a couple of hours getting different prints. Hey, Stacy. And trying new things out, different kinds of texture. Hey, Sandy. Different, like, I don't know, just adding different colors, adding stencils, and seeing what the different results were. And I kind of wanted to share some of that with you guys. So I'm going to move this out of the way for a second. Um, Oh, and I don't know if you guys saw this, but my mom had a really good idea, which was I'm using one of my extra large storage pockets from Avery L. And I just put my gel press right on top of it so that it doesn't stick to my desk and I can just move it around whenever I need. Like, I can just pick it up and move it out of the way instead of how it was before where it was just stuck to my actual desk and it was really frustrating. Um, I'm doing mostly better. I'm still congested and I've got like a lot of junk in my chest and stuff, but I'm hoping that it'll be gone soon. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Okay, so I wanted to show you guys some of the stuff that I made while my mom was over here. So I'm just going to go through some of the prints that I took while she was here. So a lot of these are like crazy layered. Like I've done, I just had a giant stack of them sitting next to me and I've just been adding and adding and adding. So some of them are really junky looking and some of them are really cool. But I just kind of wanted to go through them and show you kind of where I'm at versus where I was the other night when I tried this for the first time. Oh, Heidi, that's awesome. That's so cool. Hey, Dawn. Hey, Eliza. I'm so glad you guys are here. Okay, so I love this one. This one was one of my favorites because it's got like that texture inside those little hexagons or whatever. Hey, Lisa. This one I thought was really cool. I think I want to do like an underwater scene, so I might try to add some more stuff up here. Um, I don't know. We'll see. I like that one a lot. This one I thought turned out really kind of crazy, but neat at the same time. So my mom had these really cool mark making tools that she brought, and I think I'm gonna have to look into getting some because they were really, really neat. And so I was experimenting with that. So this one's got like a lot of different layers. um, then there's this one. Like I said, some of them are kind of mud because I just kept layering and layering and layering, trying to see what different results I could get. This one is so bizarre, but kind of cool. I like that one. And then there's this one, which is cool. I think I'm going to add more to it. I'm just not sure what yet. So this one, I was actually experimenting and I used the Brutus Monroe stencil of the month, the little egg, and only put parts of it through. I don't know. I'm just seeing what I can come up with. This one again, I was using the Brutus Monroe stencil of the month and like some bubble wrap. I don't know. There were a lot of other colors under there before, and I didn't like how it looked, and so I went over it with black. So I think I'm going to go back through and do some more layering on top of them. Um, and then this one is like crazy. I don't even know what's going on with this one. But um, that was all kind of the fun of it was, finding things that worked and things that didn't work. And it was super fun to have my mom there because she's the first person I ever saw do jelly printing or gel press printing, whatever. And I don't know. She was the first person I ever heard of it from. So it was cool to have her ideas and stuff. And advice on how to do things and what to add and stuff. So she was doing her own prints over on the side, over that way, on the edge of my desk, and then I was over here at my normal. Okay, so this is actually not printer paper. This is a paper that my mom brought over, and it is a little bit thicker. It's not like cardstock weight. It's really it's thinner than that. But it's thicker than computer paper, and it is called construction paper. And I actually have this. She left the thing with me so that I could buy it myself. But this is the packaging for it. So it's called, I don't know if it's Pacon, I have no idea. But True Ray Sulfite Heavyweight, and it's all white. And you got 50 sheets that are 9 inch by 12 inch. So we just cut them in half. So it's 100 of this size, which worked great for my little gel press. But yeah, so I really like it. It feels a lot better than printing on computer paper, to be completely honest. It's a little heavier weight, and so you still get the flexibility because it's thin, but it's not, I don't know, it's not quite as flimsy as the regular computer paper. So I literally just took this one right before I went live. So I've been practicing with doing like gradient effects and trying to get different color blending. Hey, Belinda. And then this one was right before that, so I kind of messed up with this blob of white down here. There was too much paint left on it when I went to go pull it, but if I had just blended it out a little bit, it would have been a really cool ombre effect, which is awesome. Oh no, they're selling out. That's crazy. Apparently gel printing or gel press printing is making a comeback, you guys. So then there's this one. A lot of these I feel like are still in progress, so I'm not done with them yet. I'm going to keep them here on my desk, and then as I do my printing and stuff, I will add layers to them if I feel like it would look nice with that particular one. This one was just a mess of a bunch of different stuff, so I'll definitely be adding to that. This is kind of all over the place also. This one is super ugly, so I'm definitely going to cover that up with something else. I don't know what, but something else. And then this one is just a huge mess. So I'm probably gonna put some white or something over top of it just to mute this a little bit. And then hopefully I can kind of start over with a little bit of this texture showing through, but not quite as much. So that is my big stack. However, I have a special stack of my favorites that I set aside that I didn't want to get ruined by anything. So I moved them off to the side. So there's this one, which this is one of my absolute favorites. And I could not repeat this if I tried. Like I legitimately could not make this again because I have no idea how this even came to be. It was just like print after print after print. And then this is what I ended up with, which is so super cool. I'm going to try to bring it closer so that you can see some of the detail. It's getting a little bit, I don't know, dark, but hopefully you can see some of that detail that's in there. I just think that it is so cool. I love this, and I couldn't make it again if I tried, which is a bummer because I would really love to show you how I did it. No clue. So there's that one. And then I want to keep them separate so I don't mix them into my other piles for editing, or the ones that I still want to do. So I really liked this one, how this turned out. I used the simple blends from Brutus Monroe to block off this part, and then I've used the other piece of the stencil to cover up everything and then sponge through it with some acrylic paint. So I think that turned out really cute. And then there's this one, which I really, really like. This, I think, was my first one trying out like gradient sort of thing with the different colors. And then I used the Tim Holtz Rays stencil on the top. And you can see some of the other textures and stuff that are showing through there. And what I want to do is there's a specific stencil that I want from Tim Holtz that looks like crackled ground, like really dry desert ground. And I want to put that down here because I think that would look so cool down at the bottom. But I really like that one. And then There's this one, which I thought was really cute. Just kind of random, but like a graphic print. And it has actually, it's sparkly because it has this metallic paint that my mom brought over. It's like a hot pink metallic paint. And so I don't know if you can see it shining or shimmering at all, but in person it's kind of shimmery. So that's kind of cool. I like that one. And then this one I thought was really cool also. So I've been using bubble wrap a lot. So that's this here. I've been using that a lot for texture and it turns out really, really cool. So I like that. And then again, those mark making tools in the black and all that is really cool. And then my favorite, I think, because I felt really accomplished after making this, is this one. And I don't know, I just feel like I've come a really long way already since that first video that I shared with you guys the other night live. I don't know. I just feel like I've learned a lot already, and by no means am I an expert, but I feel like, I don't know, things are getting better. I feel a little bit more confident, which is really cool. And I'm getting a more brave, which is definitely a plus because before, you guys know, you were there, I was really struggling with what to do with all this stuff, and I didn't know how to use it or any of that. So my mom said I should frame this one. I think it's super cute. But yeah, anyway, so huge props to my mom for coming over and helping me out because I don't think I would have been brave enough to try a lot of this stuff if she hadn't been here. Sometimes it takes like camaraderie and having someone there to support you. I don't know. Okay, so now that I've showed you all of my things that I made earlier today, I don't have a ton. I only have 2 new sheets left of this special paper, which kind of sucks. But I have ones that I want to add some stuff to, so hopefully I will be able to do some of that while we are here on our live. So what I'm doing is I've got over here my little roll-off sheet that I'm using. So I have a whole nother one from earlier. And it looks like this because I used a whole lot of paint. It's crazy. So I might end up trying to do something with this later, but I don't know what. It reminds me of like an oil painting or something. It's crazy. I don't know. But yeah, so there's that, my little roll-off paper. And then this is my one that I'm working with right now. It's like a hot mess. I'm going to turn it sideways, I think, so I can roll this way. I don't know. My mom said that kind of helps to sort of like distribute the color a little bit around so you don't end up with like crazy mud. I don't know. And you can see that I still have some texture and bits of stuff on my plate from my previous print that I did. But that's okay because sometimes that's the best part I found. You get these little bits in your stuff and then it's totally unexpected, which is really neat. Okay, so I want to take these 2 because they don't really have anything for the most part going on for texture. And I'm going to try to build some stuff up with them. So for, let's see, I'm trying to decide what color I want to use. That's the hardest part, I feel like, is trying to pick a color. Let's do for this orangey one, because I don't want anything that's going to clash or make it look kind of like muddy or gross. But I want something that's actually going to stand out and be pretty. So I'm gonna go, I really don't have like a ton of colors, so that's why this is a hard choice for me. It's hard for me to decide what to do. Let's do some navy maybe. Navy could be really cool. Oh, that's cool. Rubber bands on the brayer. I never thought of that. That's a really cool idea. I'm going to start with some navy because I think it'll look nice with like the orange and stuff. Ugh. And some of my paints, you guys, are like more liquidy than others, and some of them are a little thicker. So I've been having a kind of a hard time, honestly, trying to like figure out how much paint to put on. And actually, this probably wasn't a good plan to put the navy on because I think the paint is a little bit, um, I don't know. I don't think the paint is really good. It's really old, partially, is part of the problem. And so it's like the consistency of the paint is really strange. It's hard. It's really hard to get like a solid coverage. It gets all weird looking because you can see on here. I don't really know what's going on. But I'm just going to roll it off over here, and then I'm going to grab one of my stencils. Let's do this one. Oh, that might be kind of a weird look. But so now I've got that. I've got my my stencil on there, so I'm going to just take my print, plop it on there, and give it a good rub to make sure that it transfers nicely. I might be able to spray it with water. I've done that a few times for some of my prints, but I find that it gets really blobby then. Okay, so we've got our navy. It didn't transfer perfectly, but I'm okay with that. I don't really mind. And then what I'm going to do is take that navy that's left here on my gel press, and then I'm going to put it on my purple one. And it's going to cover up a lot of what is already there. So I'm going to lose a lot of my purple that's on there already, but that's okay, because the cool thing is then it shows up through the holes in the stencil, if that makes sense, which I think is really neat. And because the paint was drying, I got sort of a muted effect, so that's kind of cool too, because then it looks a little more distressed, which I think is really neat. Especially, I don't know, because you couldn't really create that yourself. But I think that looks kind of neat. So this is what we've got so far. And I'm going to keep adding more to these because you know me. I can't just leave them alone. So I'm going to keep adding things as we go. So I think for this one, I'd like to bring in like a little bit more of the neutral sort of colors. I do have this brown one. Although it is a little bit, I'm shaking it up. It's a little bit liquidy. I don't know. We'll see what happens. When I used it before, it was, it almost seemed like purplish red. And I didn't love that. I don't know that. See, and I'm getting, see, it's like translucent. I think it's just my paint is old because it's not rolling very well. Hey, Karen. It's not rolling very well, and I don't know. So I'm just going to use the bubble wrap and put that in there. And what I'm actually going to do is take this directly on top of my print and then just put it right on top. But see, it's not really transferring very much because there's not a whole lot of paint on there. Which is a little weird. A string pull design? No, I have not. I don't know what that means. Is that thing where you like put it in a book and pull it, like pull the string while the book is closed or something with the paint? I've never tried that, like even in a book. I've seen a lot of things, but I've never tried it myself. So this, I don't know, that brown, I think I'm just going to have to retire because it seems like it's not good. So I will put that on my list of things that I need to get is a new brown because that's not good. So I'm just going to keep that out of my rotation and not put it back in. And we'll just, I don't know. I'll try to use some other stuff instead, which kind of stinks because my only other dark, like neutral color is black. And that's not great for just trying to add some texture or whatever to a project. Okay, so now I'm going to take some shelf liner. I got this from the Dollar Tree yesterday maybe. And I'm going to do the same thing, just kind of put it on here like that. So now you can see I've got that texture. Hopefully you can see it. it adds that little bit of texture. I'm going to keep doing it here. I'm going to add some, I don't know, like right over here. And this just gives it, I don't know, some interest. And it makes it look cool to see that design kind of poking through, which I think is really neat. And then I'm just going to leave it alone like that. I am going to finish here. So I think what I might do is take this last little bit. Hey, Tiffany. And then just plop it down here at the bottom on this one. I'm so excited to see you. You have inspired me. Ooh, that's cool. That's really neat. You have inspired me to do more things mixed media. I am all over the place with my gel printing. I'm really excited about it. Okay, so now this is pretty well dry, and I'm not going to be able to do a whole lot with that. So what I'm going to do is take this one that I don't really like. I don't like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take kind of like an off-white, and I'm going to shake it up because all my paints need to be shaken up because they're not very good. They're old is part of the problem. Some of them I just bought, but a lot of them I've had for a really long time. They need some love. I'm just going to go right over the stuff I already had on there because it was already dry. Then I'm going to get like a 2-layer effect, and it is blending a little bit, so maybe it was still a little bit wet, but that's okay. I'm going to rub off my excess over here. Fatima, I'm having a blast. It makes me really nervous, but I really like it at the same time. Like, it gives me extreme anxiety, but all I can think about is making more projects. So I'm pretty excited about it because that's really cool. Okay, so you can see now I covered up a lot of the design that I had before. I wasn't happy with it, so that's actually really awesome for me. But you can see the texture from where I put that. This is like shelf liner from the Dollar Tree. And then you can still kind of see those other prints in there, but it gives it this really cool muted and distressed look because you've got like some patterns peeking out from behind. And I think that's like the coolest part. Tiffany, you totally need to try it. It's so cool. I am having a blast. Like, seriously, I am making all the things. And look, okay, I'm going to show you, since you weren't here when I showed them earlier, look at what I made earlier. When my mom was over here, she was showing me like different things to do, and so I tried a gradient with the sky and all of that, and I made that with just the gel press, like just layering different stuff. And I made this one and this one and that one, which I want to get that Tim Holtz crackle stencil and put that on the bottom so it's like a desert. I'm going crazy, you guys. And then this one, Tiffany, this one made me think of you, actually, of like your pretty mixed media ones with like the butterflies and the, I don't know. It just reminded me of you. I don't know why specifically, but it did. Like maybe it's the alchemy waxes, like the colors and stuff. I don't know, but it reminded me of you. So yeah, I don't know. I've been having like so much fun. I've been making all the things. Okay, so now we have like this really neutral one, which before it was like pink or like blue and whatever, and I really didn't like it, but now we have kind of like a neutral one. And then I can add other colors on top of that. So like if I wanted to add like black, for example, we could, let's do, I think I really like these or hexagons or whatever these are. Look, I don't even know what my shapes are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, hexagons. So I'm going to just, oh, no, I don't need that. Hold on. I need paint first. Okay, let's do black. Because black is fun. Whoa, that's a lot of paint. See, this is what I mean about my paints. Like, sometimes they come out super fast. And sometimes I have to really squeeze it. Ooh, yeah, that's a good idea. I have a lot of backgrounds already, and I've literally only done this twice. And I think that that would be an awesome thing to do. I'm going to turn probably a lot of them that I don't love by themselves into card backgrounds. But other than that, that is a good That's a good thing to do. I think I'll definitely do that. Okay, so I am going to add these on top of this one so that I get, actually, let me do it the other way. I'm going to add it on top of this. All right, so I'm just going to plop it right down. The only thing is with these particular stencils, they kind of move around a little bit. And I'm worried about my gel press like shifting and things like that, like, or the stencil shifting on top of my gel press. And so ooh, it's so cool. And so I try to be careful with it because, you know, that happens, things happen. I'm just like taking up the extra stuff over here. I'm not worried about it like being all weird and wonky over here. I'm trying really hard not to care about stuff like that. Okay, so before the paint dries, I'm going to take this off, set it to the side, and then I'm going to print on this one that I already had, and hopefully it wasn't too dry already. And I'm like shaking the heck out of my table, so sorry if the camera shakes a little bit. Yes, it's so cool. I just love that so much. And I'll add, you know, I can add more, but the thing that's cool is that then it starts to look like these patterns, like it sends it to the back a little bit. It like mutes it, or I don't know, it changes the layers. I don't know, it just looks really cool to me. And I really like this, this paper that she brought over, which is really cool. Okay, so we've got some stuff left on here, but what I think I'm gonna do, I don't like this one at all, so I'm gonna put white over top, over top of this, and then just go over it so that it mutes it a bunch. And it's not actually white, it's called antique parchment, but it's like slightly off-white. And I think that is nice. I like it to not be completely white, because, I don't know, it's just more interesting. I feel like you get really cool results that way. See, there's still some brown on here. That's crazy. Okay, so I'm rolling off, and this one is the one I said I think I wanted to cover up. And it doesn't matter, I have found, if it is completely lined up with the design you did before, because I was having some anxiety about that, you guys. About the rectangles not completely lining up. And, oh, see, that looks so much better already, in my opinion. I know that it looks like a hot mess and it's ugly, but I didn't like what was there, and I kind of like this. But see, it pulled up some of the black, even though that was already dry, and I had just left that behind as like waste, basically. But when I put that white over it, it mutes everything in the background, and then picks up some of the gunk that was left over on the gel press, which is really cool. Because then you get like these distressed, crazy mixed media looks without really having to do anything yourself. It does all the work for you, which is really super cool. So now I think what I'm going to do is add some hot pink into this somewhere. I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but let's see. What's the brightest pink color I have? Maybe this? I think so. Okay. And then I'm also going to be in the market, you guys, for new paint. So I'm going to be, hopefully, I mean, obviously this is all budget restrictive, but I will be in the market for new things to try, new products, to add to my growing stash of things I can use for mixed media. The nice thing is you can use a lot of craft, like a lot of your supplies that you use for, a lot of the supplies that you use for, Lord have mercy, a lot of the supplies that you use for card making, good grief, if I can just get a full sentence out, a lot of those same supplies can be used for this gel press printing, which is really super cool, because I don't have to go out and buy a whole lot of stuff, which is nice. Ooh, you guys should totally get gel press or gel plates or jelly plates. They're called a lot of different things. I think gel press is like the actual brand. Ooh, it's fun. Then you just take that off, set it to the side, and then now I can put that on top of something else if I can find something. Let's see. Gosh, I have a lot of stuff, but none of it is really, I can try it on this one. We'll see what happens. Could you lay the gel? Yeah, you totally could. Yep, it depends on the size of your gel plate. But you can totally flip it over and then put it on your journal page or whatever you want. Yep. You can use it like a stamp. Oh my gosh, you guys, this is so cool. Ooh, it didn't transfer a lot, but it transferred enough that it looks kind of cool. So my paint was a little too dry is basically what happened there. And I am so okay with that because it looks really neat. Because see, now I've got like only this little bit that's coming out, which is really super cool. I like that a lot. Okay, what else can I put pink on too? I'm just going through all my backgrounds that I have on the side. Maybe, ooh, I like this one as it is a little bit, but okay, so this is a little too, I don't like this one at all. So I'm just going to put, like how we did for the other one, I'm going to put white on the back of this because it's already dry. Yeah, what about the one I hate? Which one? There are a bunch of them. And then I'll just put the white on it again. And then that's going to give me some of that design on top of a muted version of this, which I think is just super cool. Okay, let's do it. Hey, Sue. All right. But yeah, I've seen a lot of people do, well, not a lot of people, but I've seen people do it where they have their gel press and then they put it, they just flip it over and put it into their journal. Ooh. So see, then I've got my cute little pattern. It muted that stuff in the back that I didn't like. And then now I can build up on this. And the cool thing is you get tiny little bits from the previous backgrounds where your paint didn't transfer all the way or you pick something extra up from the gel press, and it adds to that really layered mixed media distressed sort of look, which is super cool. Because this does not look like anything right now, but I think it will look really cool as we keep going. You can, yep. You can definitely use rubber stamps. I have not really used many because I am nervous about getting them dirty. But you definitely can, as long as you clean them. Then they'll still, as long as you get all the gunk off of it, then they'll still stamp the same. Because they have those rubber, like they're called texture plates or something like that. But they're basically rubber stamps, which is really cool. I definitely, let's see. All right, I'm going to add, okay, so this one that we just did, I'm going to add some black to it. I don't know why. I just feel like that would be cool. But what I'm going to do it a little differently than I did before. And I'm going to put my black on, and then I'm going to cover the whole plate with it. Roll off my extras. Yeah, wash or clean immediately because they will get gunked up and then they'll never stamp the same. That makes me worried. Like I don't want to mess up the ones that I am planning to use for my card making. Hey, Gyps. Okay, so I'm going to apply a little bit of the bubble wrap texture, and I'm literally just going to put it directly on this. The longer you wait, of course, the more the paint will dry and you won't have super clean results. But that kind of adds to the distress look a little bit, which is cool. Okay, so I've added that. And then now I'm going to take my little bit of texture here again. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to add it right on top. Yeah. And I kind of feel like the more sloppy it is, the better, because this is apparently my release from all of my perfectionist crafting tendencies. And this one I don't really like either, so I'm okay with covering it up. But what I'm going to do is I am going to spritz it with water because it is a little bit, it's a little bit too dry. And I'm just going to plop this right on top. Whoop, whoop. If you can use chalk paint. I don't know. I have some chalk paint right here. Chalky finish. I don't know. I have some chalk paint, but I don't know if there's any difference in how it will work. Woo, that's really muddy. Okay, so I spritzed it a little too much, but that's okay. See how this, when this dries a little bit more, it will, the background will pop through a bit more and it will look kind of neat. But this is really cool because see this, the colors pop through the black and then you can build up more color on the black and then just leave these areas so that you have that color showing through, which is really cool. Let's see, what else can we do? I'm not even gonna bother cleaning that. Do you always use acrylic paint? Yes, so far I've only been using acrylic paints. I haven't used anything else. I've used like metallic, well, that was still acrylic paint. I did also get some texture or some modeling paste at Michael's the other day, and it's just like cheapy whatever stuff. I've heard it comes out like toothpaste. I don't know. But I've been really wanting to try some new techniques. Oh, that's cool. Fatima, I've heard that you can use the alcohol inks, but they stain your gel press, and I'm not ready for that yet. I'm brave, but I am not that brave yet. Okay, so for this one, I was thinking that it reminds me of like a really pretty underwater sort of scene. And so what I wanted to do was maybe add like some sort of gel, or not gel, oh my gosh, some sort of like seaweed looking stuff at the top. I don't know, something that sort of looked, you know, underwater-ish. Something in like a nice color. Let's see. Let's see. This is kind of like all over the place. But maybe if I like sponged it on a squid, that would be awesome. I was kind of thinking like if I layered this on top. Ooh, it's getting all caught up on everything. But I was kind of thinking if I layered it on top, like maybe I could do a couple little pieces where it has, you know, I could just sponge it on. I've got like a little thingamajiggy here. And then it would look cute like seaweed or something. But what color to use? Let's see. I don't want to use anything too dark or whatever. Maybe I can use gray. Because I wanted to still... A mermaid, yeah. Do I have a mermaid? Turquoise. I don't know if I do have a mermaid. I mean, I have like cartoon mermaids. They wouldn't look that cute. All right, so I'm literally just going to like pounce this through here because that's the thing that I found that's really cool is that you can just combine your different mediums. Obviously it's mixed media, but like it doesn't all have to be only printing, only gel press printing, or only stamping and card making, or you know what I mean? Like I can combine them and do super fun stuff, which I think is really cool. I don't know, because I never would have thought of doing any of this before I had the gel press, which is bizarre that I never really, I don't know. But I never really did think about doing any of this. I was always like, that's mixed media, that's not what I do. But you know, we all have our moments in the sun where we get to do fun things. All right. Let's see what happens. Ooh, I'm not going to do a bunch of them, but that's kind of cool. And then maybe I can layer like some other little bits of textures. Play the lotto. I forgot to play the lotto. I don't usually buy lottery tickets. Is there some reason that you should right now? Is it like a really high pot or something? Heather said she will do a class. Yeah, I could not teach a class on mixed media, I don't think, because I don't know what to do with it. I haven't used any aqua pigments yet. I plan to, but I haven't gotten there yet because I have just been experimenting mostly with paint, just to kind of like learn the techniques and what to do and what not to do also. Oh my gosh, 3 giveaways. That's crazy. That's really awesome. That's super cool. Okay, I'm gonna come back to this one now and add some like super hot pink, which that was like probably way too much paint, but that's okay. I can always just roll it off over here or use it for something else. If you don't want to waste your paint, I know that a lot of people who have art journals will just rub off the excess in another page so that they're not wasting it. Let's see. I don't know, I haven't used this one yet. This could be, whoa. All right, well, this is going to be weird because I kind of scraped it before I put it down. So who knows what's going to happen. It's going to look a little funny, but we're just going to go with it. And we're going to add some stripy stripes to this, this background. Oh, well. That's what my mom told me. I don't remember if she said it was Dina Wakely or Diane Reevely who was saying, she says 3 words. Yeah, that looks really weird. It's okay, though. But she says, oops, oh, well. Yeah, I know it's not perfect, but there's a difference between not perfect and, like, completely jacked up. All right, let's find another piece that we can add this to. None of these really. Let's just add it to this random piece here. And I try to get them before it gets too dry, but sometimes I take too long and then it's not dry. Yeah, see, that one was a little bit too dry. See how I still have a lot of paint left over there? I did get some of the transfer, which is cool. And I picked up a little of the black that was still on the gel press. But, you know, it's all right. All right, let's see. I like this one, but I'm nervous to do anything with it because I like it. And I don't want to ruin it. Let's see. What else do we have? I'm hesitant to start a new page because I don't want to jacked up from mixed media. You say that, but there's like a big blob of something on my brayer. Anyway, I think maybe I'll go back over this one and then I'll put some, like a little bit of white, but I'm not going to cover the whole thing. Let's try that. I've never done that before where like you only cover part of it. So I'm just gonna, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Like, I don't want it to be shapes. Like, I don't want it to be like actual blobs, but I don't know, we'll see what happens. This is all, oh, the other thing that my mom kept telling me was that people say, it's only paper, they'll make more. So I need to try to remember these things, but I don't really feel like that gave us much. Anyway, it's only paper, they'll make more. That's what I need to try to remember because, I don't know, I get really caught up in, like, I want it to look really good, and, you know, it makes me sad when things don't work out how I want them to. You know, it just, because I am a perfectionist, I don't know. It just kind of gets to the point where it stresses me out a little bit. I don't know, you guys. I think it's just because it's partially just how I am. I don't know. In life in general, not just in crafting, but just it's my personality. Which is, you know, whatever. Okay. So the paper that I'm using is actually a construction paper that my mom brought over. And I can show you the label for it in just a minute. It used to be, I was just using printer paper, but now I am using this paper that my mom brought over, which it's a little bit thicker, which is really nice. And yeah, I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to use up one of my last pieces that I have before I run out. I'm definitely going to be ordering more of this. And in just a second, I'll show you the brand, the label or whatever for the paper that it is. It was a brand I had never heard of, but it's like a construction paper. And it's heavier than regular printer paper, but it's not as thick as a cardstock. Oh, that's crazy. Okay, so this cleaned my look at that. It cleaned my gel press. So a lot of that stuff that was there before, look how crazy that is. That's nuts. Because it's got the pink and it's got black left over. It's got a whole bunch of stuff that I did not put on there. But that's kind of the whole fun of it, is finding out what's going to be behind there when you peel it off. It's really neat. So some of the prints that you get when you first start are not going to be as cool as some of these prints that you get later on when you've been doing it for a little while in a session, and then you have all that gunk on your gel press. Okay, so the paper, here is the paper for the paper. So it is Pacon, I don't know how you say that, but that's the name of the brand. And it's True Ray Sulfite Heavyweight Construction Paper, all in white. And you get 50 sheets that are 9 by 12. And this is half of a sheet. So, yay! Hey, Luisana! But yeah. So that's that. We are just practicing with the gel press. Doing all kinds of fun stuff. Alright, so let's add some more fun color. So since we had the navy down at the bottom, but it didn't really show up a ton, I am going to add some navy now, and then we'll add some texture with it. See, this navy one is getting to the same point that that brown was that I was telling you guys about, where it like doesn't, oh my gosh, Louisiana, you got a gel press yesterday? That's awesome. I can't wait to see you use it. That's so cool. Okay, so we're just going to lay this tiny little polka dot stencil down and flip that bad boy over. Ink sprays for chasing her. Yeah, of course, Eliza. Paintballs. Lord have mercy. Peeling my, oh Lord, I smeared the bottom piece, but that's okay. All right, so now we've got polka dots. We can peel that right off. And weirdly, I'm gonna add it to this because why? Well, maybe not. Bloop, 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 bloop. I don't know if I want to do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. You guys keep telling me not to think so much, so here I go. This is gonna ruin this print, but that's okay. I can always make another one. But see, it's not made for water, really, this particular type of paper. So do be careful, because that's kind of neat. Be careful, because it is very thin. And see, I didn't put very much water, but it's definitely going through. So just be careful with that if you get this type of paper. Ooh, so now we added some navy. That's pretty cool. I wasn't sure that I was gonna like that, but it looks neat. Okay, so let's see. What else do we have? I'm gonna have to get some new paper soon because mine's getting a little bit wet and warped. I'm not giving it enough times. I wasn't gonna like it. Yeah, I know. Scold me all you want. Okay, what else do we have over here? Let's see. What I want to do with this, oh, you know what'll be really cool? I have this really giant, I have a really giant thingamajig here, this stencil, with lots of big holes. So what I'm going to do is, oh, Fatima. What I'm going to do, because I want this to show through, but I want the rest of it to be blank. So what I'll do is I'll put my paint down, put my stencil down, rub off that first, and then peel it up and put this on. So what color do I want to use? Let's see. Let's just do black, because why not? Start listening, stubborn. You guys are so funny. I love all of you, just so you know. And look, you guys, the last time we did this, I couldn't even roll the paint on the gel press, and now look at me go. I couldn't even get the paint on it last time. All right, what did I do with that stencil? Here we go. All right, so I'm laying the stencil on over top, right? Okay, I'm gonna put it on this one because it has similar colors, and I think that that will be really cool. So I'm just gonna lay it all down. Yeah, luckily I have a lot of stencils already that I literally like never use. And that's not even including my like pretty company stencils, like the ones that I get from Brutus, Monroe, or wherever. Yeah, like look how cool that is. That's really neat. Okay, and then while it's still wet, I'm gonna take this, lay this little guy on top, and hope to heck it picks it up. Yes, Luisana, I am definitely using acrylic paint. That is all I've tried so far. I will, though, be trying distress oxides and distress inks and other inks that I have, because I definitely want to give those a try. It was a little bit too dry, so it didn't pull up all of it, which is kind of a bummer because now it looks a little faded. Because what I wanted was for these holes to show through and for the rest of it to mostly be just black. What I might do is, yes, I am. I am definitely still playing with this thing. It really is addicting. My mom came over today and we played for a while and I made all kinds of crazy prints. What I was thinking about doing is putting more black paint, doing the stencil again, and then turning it over, and then I could like line it up like this, you know, like line up the circles and try to get it in the same place. Has a lot of 12 distress inks on sale. Oh, yeah, I have the whole collection of distress inks, but I don't have all of the oxides yet. I need to work on that. Okay, so I think I want to do a similar thing with this one because I really like some of this texture and stuff, but I don't know how I feel about it I don't know, you guys. I'm just trying to decide what to do because I only have one more clean sheet of paper, of this type of paper. I can still go back and use the, other stuff, but of this type of paper, and by other stuff, I mean, copy paper, like printer paper. Oh my gosh, you guys. I was filming a video yesterday and I had this idea when I was at that event on the Make. It's Corin Wistman and Mary Polanco's event. I had this idea that I would use Nuvo drops to, what state am I in? Oh, Virginia. I had this idea to use Nuvo drops because we didn't have anything to splatter. And so I had this idea to use Nuvo drops and water them down and then use them as like paint splatter. which I thought was like, oh, that's pretty smart. I'll just do that. And it worked perfectly. So I was like, yes, now I have something to add to my repertoire or whatever of, I think this needs like a little bit more, to add to my repertoire of things, right? Like, of things I can use. Anyway, so I was filming this card yesterday and I was like, oh, well, I will, I'll just do the same thing. I'll do the Nuvo splatter and it'll be super cool. And so I went and I got my black Nuvo drops and I was like, all right, great. This is going to be great. Except that I couldn't get them to come out. Like, they wouldn't come out. And so I squeezed it. And then they still didn't come out. So I squeezed it a little harder. And then I squeezed it even harder. And this is going to look really bad, but whatever. And it exploded all over my desk and myself. It was all, I was wearing this cardigan actually. It was all the way up my sleeve, like all the way up to my elbow. And, yes, it was all the way up and all the way up my sleeve, all over my shirt. Holy crap. That's really ugly. That's okay. We can work with it. But yeah, it was all up my sleeve. It was all up, all over my shirt, all over the front of my shirt, and it's black, and it's basically like acrylic paint. And so I tried to immediately clean it all up, and literally the whole bottle was like puddled on my desk. And I have it on video because I was filming. It was the very last thing in this card that I was making, which I'm actually going to show you guys right now. I can't believe that I'm going to show this to you because my hands are dirty and I'm worried that I'm going to ruin it. But so I made a card for the Altenew Educator certification program, and I was on the very last step. Miraculously, my card survived. It didn't get ruined. Nothing hit my card. It all went on me and my desk. And so this is the card that I made, and I still went ahead and did the splatters because I figured, well, what the heck? I already have all this stuff all over my desk. I might as well still do it. So this is the card that I made for my next thing for Altenew. Hopefully I'm going to be sharing it tomorrow, but I'm going to post the video tutorial with it as well. And you guys will get to see me explode the whole container of Nuvo drops all over myself. And you can hear me go. And I do admit that I said a few choice words when when it exploded all over me, but I edited that out. Yes, I edited it out. It would be cute with pink elephants on it, the last background. Oh, this one? Yeah, luckily, Gyps, I was able to edit those out and still keep in my my ridiculous catastrophe. That was awful. I couldn't even believe that that happened. I was like, are you serious right now? Hey, Georgia. Okay, so let's just try to do something else with this card, or this print, because it is not cute. That green turned like black. It was green. This is the paint that I used. But because of the stuff that was on my press, my gel press already, it combined and made kind of like a really ugly grayish brown sort of color. But it really looks cool that it has the black circles on it still. That's kind of neat. But anyway, so you guys will get to see my big oops in my video. I think tomorrow is when I'm going to post that one. And then you guys saw, because most of you were live with me, you guys saw this card that I made in our live video. I really like this one as well. So I was excited about how that turned out. Super cute. Yeah, I really like that one. Okay, anyway. So, what do we want to do now? We have, let's see, we've got a whole lot of acrylic paint. I kind of want to do, I want to fix this a little bit. I want to do something with this one before we end. And then I also want, I've got one more sheet that we can do from blank. So there's that. Let's do another fun gradient card. Because I'm really digging these for some reason. I don't know why, but I really like them. All right, let's do why don't we do, I'm trying to think of like cool sky sort of. I wonder, I have no idea if this is going to work, but let's try it and see what happens. Let's try to make a galaxy background on the gel press, because why the heck not, right? Let's just do it and see what happens. Okay, so I've got these two colors. So I've got like a turquoisey color and a green color. Let's use the pink and the purple. And I guess we're gonna need some black. Okay. I don't know if oh, and yellow. Yellow would be cool. Okay, I'm getting too many colors. Why don't we, how am I going to do this? I'm trying to think of like, because I don't want to make mud, but I want to, see, this is a time when it's okay to think about it, because I'm trying to like kind of plan it out a little bit so that I have at least some idea of where I'm going with this. So if I want okay, so here's what we're going to do. Let's put the light colors down first. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of yellow. And I'm not going to cover my entire gel press necessarily. I may, but I'm not like trying to do that, if that makes sense. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just put on the yellow and the green, because I want those colors to come up from the back. So let's just try. We're going to start with this sort of yellowish green background. Okay, and we're using our last sheet of paper, or our last sheet of this paper anyway. Not necessarily the last paper ever, but with the Altenew certification classes, do you have to use the stamps they have in the lessons? No, definitely not. You can use whatever stamp you have. You do not have to use the exact same stamp. Oh boy. So this still had a lot of texture on it, but look how cool that is. This would be a really neat print all on its own, which is kind of cool. That's like super distressed looking and just fun. I don't know. I really like that. It's very grungy. It reminds me of Tim Holtz. This is a very Tim Holtz background. Okay, so we've got our yellow. Let's also do, okay, so we've got yellow. I kind of want to wait for it to dry. I may need to use my heat tool a little bit, but I'm not sure yet. Okay, the next color that I'm gonna do is let's do the turquoise. And you guys, I could ruin this. Like, it might look really bad. So if it does, that's okay. Whoops. There's still a whole lot going on here. Okay, so see how I'm not covering the whole thing? That's kind of intentional. Because I still want some of the other stuff to show through. Let's just see what happens. Now, I may have to use my heat tool because this is getting pretty wet because I'm adding all this paint on it right after I just added a bunch of paint. Okay, so now we've got like some of the yellow still showing through, but we've kind of covered it up with this green. Then I'm going to add the pink and the purple. You guys are so funny. Are you still laughing about like imagining me dumping Nuvo drops all over myself, or has something else got you laughing? Inquiring minds want to know. Okay, and I'm like oozing stuff off the side here. That's okay. I'm not really too worried about it. All right, so I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. So instead of putting my entire the entire plate on there because I don't want to cover up everything. I still want to have this on here. What I'm going to do, and this is totally an experiment that I don't know if it's going to work or not. Like I may just dump this all over my project, but I'm going to try it and see what happens. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what happens. I am just going to be like randomly smooshing this on and seeing what happens. I don't know, because I don't really know how to do kind of like the ink blending portion of it. Like where you would mix the colors a little bit. I don't really know how to do that part on the gel press. So I am just making things up. Hold on, I got some on my desk. Hold on. This is like bizarre. I don't know if this is gonna work. We may have to come back in with some other mediums to kind of finish it out, but we can at least get, yeah, tie-dyed. I don't know. We can at least get some sort of something going on. Oh, really? Is that, I don't know how to pronounce her last name. Vicky Papalananu. God, I'm such an idiot. I don't know how to say her name. But she's awesome, if that's who you're talking about. I was just watching a video of hers the other night. Okay, so now we have like a really abstract sort of looking thing. Why don't, okay. Let me think about this. So if I put, so we got a lot of pink on that, but not really a lot of the purple showed through. So what I'm thinking is, what if we just kind of like, I don't know, pounce it off a little bit like this, so that it covers up a decent amount, but, you know, so that there's still space that's not already done. And I don't want to, oh, you think the bubbles? Okay, let's do it. Okay, I'm gonna put, I don't want to waste these, so I'm putting them on something else. There. I don't want to waste the paint. See, now I'm becoming a true mixed media artist, you guys. Whoa! All right, let's just pop that right back on top. You guys that follow me and have followed me for a while know how far outside of my comfort zone this is. And that is really ugly. This is not working, you guys. It's not working at all, but we might be able to figure it out yet. Do not stress. There's still hope. We may be able to make something out of it, but we will have to see. Let's see. Do I have anything that could use some purple? Maybe this one. What I'm going to do is I'm going to spritz this with water. Where did I put that? Up here. I'm going to spritz it a little bit and then just plop this one into it. This is a different background, just so that I can get some of that paint off. Not much of it came off. Okay, so what I want to do, because this is not really coming out how I hoped. That doesn't mean that it's like wrong. I mean, it certainly doesn't look like a galaxy. But what I am thinking is we could, okay, hold on. I have an idea. I have no idea if this is going to work, but I have an idea nonetheless. Because like it might be too dry by the time I get to it. I don't know, but like what if I start and I only brayer around the edges? I've never even tried this before. To like kind of give it that frame of night sky or whatever, you know what I mean? Let's see. All right, let's try that. Let's go. Once again, I am just doing, I don't even know what right now. Making things up as I go along. Okay, that didn't work either. Let's see. How are we going to do this, you guys? I was really hoping that this would work. And see, but I'm getting kind of like farther down this way every time I do it. How are we going to do this? How are we going to make it look like a galaxy? I'm determined now. I want to figure out how to do it. Because I think that that would be super cool. What if, let's do this. What if we just pour some black paint all around, you know, and then just kind of like pounce it onto the gel press in the middles. White mixed with black, you say. This is going to cover up. Okay, so I'm going to have to take a print of this first to get some of it off, because otherwise it would cover up like our whole entire background. I know, Fatima. It's making me so stressed. All right, I'm just going to take, this is just like regular cardstock, you guys. I'm going to take it, but take like a really fast first print so that it's still wet. And then I'm going to lay this one down on top of it. It's going to cover up a lot of our stuff, but it's closer. It's closer, you guys. It's closer. We're getting there. And then if I come back with some of the, I need like a little bit more black maybe here, and then I can come up and brighten some of the areas a little bit. But you guys are right about the white, because then it would kind of give the effect of like the glowing or nighttime sort of stars. So here's what I'm gonna do. Yeah, no more black. I'll try white instead. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill this whole thing with white, and then, but it's probably not going to stay completely white, which is totally fine because I don't need it like stark white. Hold on. Before I do that, I had an idea, and I don't know if it's going to work or not, but I'm going to try it and see what happens. But I thought like I might be able to kind of go in some of these areas that are a little bit darker, and brighten them up a little bit with some of this texture, to make it not look so dark. I don't know, just to like lighten it up a little bit. And then I can go back. Oh, I popped a bubble. Then I can go back and I can go back and do the flicks of white. I think I want to brighten it up just a little bit more. I need to do something with this. Hang tight. Let me evaluate my, my pieces over here. I think I'm actually just going to use this deli paper to take it off. I'm not really super worried about it. Yeah, the white helps. I think I think it definitely helps. So this deli paper, my mom also brought this over for me, but it helps to clean up your gel press. Apparently not that much, but it helps to clean it up. An old paintbrush. Yes, I have lots of paintbrushes. What are we thinking about doing? I think this is actually starting to look kind of cool, you guys. I was really not feeling it, but it's starting to look better. What did you have in mind with the paintbrush, Gyps? I'm going to take a drink while I wait for you to type. All right. Oh, use it to make texture. Which kind of texture? Like actual brush strokes? This is actually turning out kind of cool. I was a little worried for a bit there because it was looking a hot mess. Flick the white paint with an old toothbrush. Yes, that would be cool. Slather it with whole paint. No black. Blue. Wait, what? Slather it with whole paint. Do you mean like cover the whole gel press with paint? Oh, with white. You think so? You think white? Like, and then put it on my print? Or the pointy end? Okay, I'm waiting for more information for Fatima. Yeah, okay, so while I'm waiting, you guys, I think that this room, my craft room, um, it's like really dry in here or something, because even my mom was saying that, like, compared to how it is at her house, it is like everything was drying super fast. So I don't know if it's just that this particular room is like really arid. Is that the opposite of humid? No, it's thinner than parchment paper. It is like it's like what you would wrap a hamburger in, or like what they would put lunch meat in. If you went to the deli at the store, at the grocery store, and they gave you lunch meat, like salami or turkey or whatever, and they put this around it. Yeah, it's like sandwich paper. Yeah. I don't know what it's called other than deli paper. But my mom said she literally bought it at the store. Like, she went to the grocery store and she bought it from the people behind the counter selling the deli meat. Like a whole box of it. So she left me a bunch of sheets, but I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so you guys, so I need to know, so from Fatima, you were saying cover this whole thing in white? Won't that like take away all of my my pretty galaxy colors? If I do like a really thin light, a thin white, I don't want to like ruin it, but I mean, I also do want it to actually look like a galaxy. And it doesn't really look like a galaxy right now. It looks like it needs some graffiti on it. Oh, Brandy, you are not kidding. Galaxy backgrounds do seem to always look bad before they look good. That is true. That happens even when I'm ink blending and stuff. It looks awful. And then I'm like, oh, hey, that actually turned out pretty cool. Okay, so Fatima, I don't know what happened to you. Oh, we don't have delis. Oh, so you don't mean... you don't mean put white on the gel press. You mean put white flat, like splatter all over this. Yeah? I wouldn't mind to tone it down a little bit, but I kind of wanted to bring like a slight bit more of the green or the whatever forward, because it doesn't really have, well, I mean, up here, obviously it does. But I don't want it to get too whatever. Obviously nothing is going to show up quite as much as that black, so it'll be a little muted no matter what I add, but like maybe like a little bit of the yellow. I don't know, you guys. Let's try it. So what I'm going to do this time is this still has a little bit of black on it, so it's going to kind of it's gonna blend a little bit, which is fine. Let's see. I'm trying to make this look kind of like those things that you see in space. I don't think that I'm really very good at this sort of thing, but that could work though. Now I've got like yellow and pink paint all over my hand though. Let's see if I can clean that up real quick. That's the only thing that oh, someone suggested purple. I missed that. Purple. Let's see. Purple and blue. Okay. Blue as in navy or blue as in turquoisey? Or I also have this lighter blue. And I have some turquoisey colors, because apparently I really like turquoisey. But you know what I could do? I'm not going to do this on the actual gel press. Like, I'm not going to flip it over and whatever, but I can add like a little bit of green to the outside. Well, interestingly enough, the green kind of looks yellow. Oh well. I kind of want to make it look as messy as possible, because obviously nothing in space is going to be like perfect. Splatter on the paper like you do with card with white. Yeah, okay, I will definitely do that. Darker blue and purple. Okay. I'm just going to leave this here. Totally fine. Okay, darker blue, so the navy. Are you guys saying you think like in the areas with the black, or like where do you think that we should be adding the blue? Not the whole thing, right? Like if I flip this over, so like right here maybe like a little dot of navy, and like up here maybe just a little bit, and that's good. All right, let's just start there. So all I'm doing is just like smooshing around the color so that it hopefully looks a little bit random. And then we'll go from there and see what happens. I don't know if it will, this is all just experimentation. I have no idea if this is going to, I don't really know that it like adds a whole lot. It gets a nice, it's more gradient color, which is nice. So like everything is not exactly the same color. So I'll just add a little bit more of it over here and like up there, right here. Okay. All right. So we've got like a crazy, a photo on Facebook. Okay, let me look. Hold on. Oopsies. I'm getting like paint all over my hair, you guys. Facebook. All my prints are getting in the way of my, let's see. Oh, gel press experiment. Somebody else already did it. How rude. Theirs looks way more Galaxy-esque than mine. That doesn't look like mine. That doesn't look like mine at all. Okay, so I want to try one thing, and it might ruin the whole thing. And if it does, I mean, we could always start over. So there's that. What I want to try is muting all of it by adding the white. But I only want to add like a little bit of white. I don't want to add a thick amount of white. So what I'm going to try is to pick it up with this other piece that we already did really fast, like that, and then put this one on top also. Ooh, Brandy, that sounds awesome. It didn't really help mute it as much as I hoped. Okay, well, let's just try it and see with the flex if we think it looks okay. Let's see, I've got white. Oop, let me get an acrylic block. Acrylic block. And what I'm going to do is put a little drop on there. I'm going to mist it with water. And I'm going to get a paintbrush. And what I am going to do is really, really mix this around, right? Right. I'm actually going to take this out from under here a little bit and use it kind of like as a media mat sort of thing, since it already has all this paint on it anyway. And we're just going to flick like this. And it's okay if they're like giant blobs, that's totally fine. It doesn't matter. And I think once I get like a general coating, I'm gonna go back in and do this splattering from the top so that we also get that kind of splatter as well. I kind of like to leave those, I like it how they flick, like how they're not perfect drops. And the reason I like that is because it reminds me of like shooting stars and stuff. I don't know. I like it. I'm going to add a ton of these stars, you guys. And I'm going to try to make them like as little as possible. So that you get kind of like dimension, if you will. That looks way more like a galaxy background than it did before. Okay, I've missed a bunch of messages. Totally cool. Okay, another thing you can do, use a pastel color, then take the opposite end of the paintbrush. Oh, that's cool. That would be really neat. I'll have to try that. This is going to take a little while to dry. I can always go and get printer paper also. Let's see. It's getting a little dried up. Whoa, that was a little more paint than I intended, but that is okay. Okay. Let's call it good, because I don't want to, you know, go too much. Oh, that's super cool. I've never even thought about putting a picture on there. That's really neat. Okay, well, there you have it, you guys. Prints, not pics. There you have it. My first attempt at a galaxy background on the gel press. It was an adventure, to say the least. But hey, once it dries, it might look a little more galaxy-like. The stars definitely help, although I did get a couple of giant splatters that were a bit bigger than I maybe would have liked, but that's okay. Again, this is all, like, for me, just experimentation and trying to figure out what works and what doesn't work and all that. Let me take the lid off of, I'm just going to dunk my paintbrush in some water. Oh, you think it looks good? Oh, thanks, guys. I think, like always, we kind of all tend to be our own worst critics. Because sometimes the cards that, or the things that I make that I don't like at all, people are like, that's amazing. And the things that I really love, people are like, eh. So, you know, it's interesting to see that, you know, beauty really is in the eye of the beholder. It's all just personal preference. Which kind of helps me feel better about things. Because it's like, I don't know. I might not like it, but that doesn't mean no one will. Best thing doing this is you're never really sure how it will look. Yes, for sure. It really, I was just saying that earlier, that it's kind of interesting to do this because well, at least for me, maybe once I got more experience, I would know a little bit more ahead of time. But like, as it is right now, I literally have no idea what to expect when I pull that print off, until I pull it off and I'm like, oh, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting that, or, you know, just whatever. So it's kind of interesting. What I was thinking is, now that I have this, what I could do later is, like, once it was dry, if I wasn't completely happy with it, I could come back and ink blend some of it. You know, I could change it a little bit and make it different, but I think that it's probably fine the way it is. So we have that. Let's see. This is our sheet that we have been rubbing off on. So this is just my ink Brayer roll-off sheet. So that's fun. That's kind of a neat unintended project, I guess. I'm going to put my little galaxy off to the side. So that's our roll-off sheet. I'm going to put this, let's see. Get that in there a little bit too. Just trying to soak my little foam brush so that I can actually use it again. All right, then we also have this one that we didn't really finish doing anything with. So that one might be fun to, like, try to do something with. And actually, this one feels really nice because I used cardstock that was just sitting next to me. Oh, my splatter tool is right here. I could have used it, but I didn't. I don't know why I didn't. I just didn't. I definitely could have used it. Okay, let me put all these paints at least back in the little caddy thing that I have for them so that I can have a little more desk space again, because I'm running out of room. Let's see. Black, pink, boop, and green. I know they all fit in here. Okay. So, all right, now we've got our little splattery bit, our roll-off piece there. Okay, and we've got our gel press back. With a background like this. Yeah. That's the cool thing, I think, is like all of this stuff. I've got like little tiny flecks of dried paint all over my shirt. Not like stuck to my shirt, but just like falling off because they were, I don't know, on my brayer or something. But anyway, a lot of these I want to just like put a stamp on them and call it, you know, like good. Because some of these would be really cute with just, even like this one. I really like the way this one looks. But even this one, like you could just put a big sentiment on it and, you know, that would be it. It would be done. It's so cool. The only thing is I'm trying to figure out how to use these and incorporate them into like my actual stuff. I don't know. Like my, how to make use of them so that I don't just have a giant pile of papers that I can't bear to part with because I like made it and it was cool. But anyway, I still kind of like that one. It's neat. We should add more to that one. Okay. So we've got this one that I would like to add some stuff to, because why not? So let's do that while we're here. What do we want to do? Let's see. We've got black and we've got white. So the possibilities are kind of endless as far as like what we can add to it. Let's do this really light purple. I don't know. I like this light purple. It's pretty. That's a lot of paint. That's okay though. I can just, you know, use it on something else if it's too much. Now don't throw your beauty paper. Oh yes, I'm totally gonna keep it. I've been creating all kinds of stuff with these things. And see, I've got, you can see these little marks that are coming out in my gel press here. It's because there are pieces of dried acrylic paint on my brayer itself. And so they're making those marks, which is, you know. Okay, so let's do, I know that this is unorthodox, whatever, but it's fine. I'm just gonna, I don't care about the bars, I'm fine with it, but I'm just gonna put this pastel, this is the Brutus Monroe stencil of the month. It's gonna have to get a really good bath after this because I've been using the heck out of it. But now, oh, that's interesting. It didn't show up as much as I thought it was going to. That's kind of cool. So now, oh, this is what I should have used on top of it. That would have been really cool. Let's see, do I have anything? I need something pretty plain if I want to put that on top. I don't really want to put that. I don't want to use that. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just, this is a really thin piece of cardstock. I don't really have many supplies here. It's not going to cover the whole thing, but that's okay. I'm going to use my brayer on the back of this deli paper so that this is kind of the whole point of it, is so that you don't have to get your hands and your the back of your paper dirty. See, it's still pretty. Ooh, that's really sticky. Whoa. Okay, so this is actually really cool because it didn't quite transfer all the way, but I love that you can't tell that it's an oval. I like that you can't see the egg shape, and I think I might actually use this for my project next week because this is actually really super cool. I like that a lot. I like how it's distressed and faded looking. That is really super cool. Okay, I like that one. So let's keep that. And then, oh, let's see. I've still got a bunch of it here on the base. So I'm starting to take some of my cardstock that I have. This is printer paper. This is cardstock. I think I'm going to set the cardstock aside. I'm just going to use the printer paper that I had cut from the last time that we were working. So I've got this purple. Let's do like some turquoise maybe. That would look really pretty with it because we might get a little bit of the purple showing through on the turquoise. So the turquoise will cover the whole background. And if I get it really nice and juicy, it may peel up all of that purple, which would be really super cool. Let's see what happens. I'm just gonna lay that right on top. Put my deli paper on top as well, and then brayer from this direction. Makes it so that you get a really good imprint, which is awesome. And then you can actually use these deli print papers, my mom was telling me. You can use them for like collage or whatever afterwards, which is really cool. All right, so this is the computer paper, the printer paper. So it is much more delicate than the paper I was just using, but I don't know if you guys can see that. But you can see that stencil pattern there. It's faint. You can't see it really super well, but you can still see it, which is super cool. I really like that. Yeah, that's really neat. Okay, so we have that. Let's see, we've got another piece here. Let's just keep going. What I'm gonna do is add a little bit up here to the top. That was a little more than I meant to add, but that's okay. And this color and this color. Okay. So we are going to start at the top here. I'm gonna kind of roll off as I go so that it kind of gets like a nice mixed sort of blended feel. There we go. And I've got a little bit that's missing up here at the top, but I am okay with that. If I wanted to, I could come back through like this and kind of like fix it a little bit, but it really doesn't matter. I'm actually going to do this on the back side of this other piece, and then I'll keep whichever one I like better. I haven't used Distress inks on it yet. What I can do is if you guys are interested in seeing that and you want to keep working, if you're not interested, we can always cut it short for the night. But if you see, that's really cool. I like it. I like that a lot. And this is just on cardstock. That's really neat looking. What we can do is I can clean this off and get the acrylic paint off of it. And then we can use the Distress inks and experiment with them. I've never used them on it. I've only used acrylic paint so far. So it would definitely be an experiment for me. But, I mean, I would definitely be willing to try it out and see what it was like. Okay, the other one thing that I wanted to show you guys that I learned while we are here doing this with the acrylic stuff. I'll just put it on top of this one. What I learned is you can add texture on top of texture. So, like for example, let's see, let's use this orange. This is kind of like a weird color to use, but that's okay. We're gonna make it work. All right. So we're going to cover the whole plate with this orange. And you can see my my brayer is getting really gunked up, so like I really do need to clean it. But that's okay. All right, so what we're going to do is, see, I've got like a little, hold on. There's like a fuzz there. That's gross. Okay. That's at least better. All right, we're going to put this little guy down like this. And then what we're going to do is take this little bit of texture stuff and just go over top. And what's going to happen is only these areas that have the stencil not covering it, so the exposed parts of the stencil, are going to get the texture on them. What we're going to do is, the only thing is, let me do this on a different page first, because the only thing is, I wasn't thinking about it when I started that, and, shoot, I don't have a piece of paper next to me. Let me find one of these other ones. Hold on. The only thing is that it's going to be a little weird this time because I went over the edges. That looks kind of weird. I wasn't thinking about it, you guys. Okay, so it's not going to work for this one because what I wanted, it was too much pattern for this one that I wanted to put it on. But anyway, you would, normally you would have just taken that first print. But see now, this is what I wanted, was just the outline on this one because I didn't want to cover up all that stuff. But normally you would have printed, and then in those individual pieces you had the texture from the first one, which is really, really cool. I like that a lot. I just didn't do it right. A great project for kids. Oh, that's super cool. Yeah, I don't know if I could trust my my 4-year-old to get into this paint stuff and not like destroy the whole house, but I would love to. I love the idea. Okay, let's see. Let's do, what do we want to do here? I've got a bunch of stencils, but I keep using the same ones over and over and over again, which I always get annoyed with myself for doing stuff like that. Let's see. Not that one. There's one I'm looking for. Hold on one sec. Oh, I found it. Hold on. They're all about to fall on the floor. Oh. Okay, this one. This one is really cool. Okay. Hey, Lauren. I didn't even know you were in here. Hello. And hi to Jessie also. Okay, let's do, I don't know, I want to do at least one last something. Let's put some more, because I'm really digging this orangey sort of color. It's like kind of coral, but orange. I don't know. Let's put it over top, and then we'll stencil it on to that turquoise piece, because I think those, good lord, I think those colors look really well, or look really good together. I like that a lot. Oh, good. Okay. Making sure I didn't, like, not say hi to you, Lauren. Okay, so let's just add this up here. Give it a really good rub. Try not to move the stencil around because otherwise it will smudge and it will look not super great, but that's okay. Ooh, see, that's cool. And then obviously I didn't get anything on the bottom. Let's see, where did all my little papers go? I had extra, oh, here they are. I had extra pieces of printer paper. Then I can at least take this off down here. Oh, we've been doing all kinds of fun stuff. We made a galaxy background, Lauren. You want to see it? I made a galaxy background on the gel press. Here it is. It was an experiment and it was bizarre and weird for sure, and most of the time it looked really awful, but I think it kind of turned out looking okay. I don't know. It looks pretty neat. The paint is still drying on the white, so yeah. Okay. Let's put this on something else. Like this one. I don't know why, but I think that I'm gonna do that. This one that already had a bunch of orange on it. Mostly I was just trying to do something before it dried. Okay. Oh, that's actually really cool. Somehow I magically lined that up. That's so cool. I magically lined it up so that they were inside the, inside those other circles and stuff. That's really neat. That's super cool. I can't believe that. That turned out really neat. That's really awesome. What else? Do we have any other, like, semi-plain? I was not overthinking, that's how. I try, you guys, but sometimes, you know, you just overthink things. Let's see. If I spritz it with water, I'm trying to see if I have another background I can add it to. because I've got a whole lot of random stuff going on in some of these. Well, some of them are just too busy to add like another layer of anything to at the moment, or at least this layer. That's kind of half the problem is sometimes you just need to start a new project. Okay, so just for the sake of getting this off so that we can move on and try out our distress stuff, I'm going to put a really thick coat of white paint on here, hopefully so that it will clean off my gel press and it will get all the excess gunk off of there. I find that when you put a nice thick layer, it really helps to peel everything off. The only problem is I don't have a sheet that's big enough. You guys! Oh, fudge. Oh, and I'm also running over stuff on my floor. Bummer, you guys. Okay, hold on one second. Hopefully I can get it before it dries. Okay. I at least need to I'm going to cut a piece of paper in half real quick. Okay. Let's just pop it on there. Oh, man. Sorry about that, you guys. Okay. Well, it turned out looking real cool. But see how it looks so, it's so opaque because I put a ton of that white on there. It's really cool. So if you want some of your old background to show through, you just put less of the white or whatever, and then so some of that stuff comes through. If you want it to be opaque and completely cover it up, then you just add a lot more. That looks really cool. Yay! Okay, and then I'm just gonna go around the edge like this, and I'm actually just gonna pick up some of this gunk if I can. Some of it might not come up. Ooh, old dictionary pages. That would be super fun. I would really like that. That's a really good idea. That would be really fun for like just a junk journal or art journal or whatever they are. I don't really know what the difference is between an art journal and a junk journal. Maybe you guys can tell me. Okay, so while we are, the problem is I'm gonna have to try to clean this because it's got all this acrylic stuff. So I'm gonna set this aside to dry, and then let's figure out how to clean this stuff off real quick because I don't want to leave you guys and like go to the bathroom to do it or whatever, but we are going to need to clean it off if we want to use the distress anything. And there is a whole lot of paint on this right now because I've been using it all day, like all day. The good news is it's actually coming off. I'm kind of surprised because I thought for sure it wouldn't. You guys can talk amongst yourselves, as Christopher would say, or we can chat about whatever as I rub the heck out of this brayer. But yeah, I don't know. I had a really fun time with my mom coming over. She really helped me get outside of my comfort zone and just do stuff. And she even said to me, she was like, I'm trying to make you do this really fast so you don't have time to think about it. Because that's what I do is I'm like, oh, but I don't know if that's going to work. And, whatever. You guys know, I overthink everything. And that's not just in my crafty life, that is in normal life also. I have anxiety and I am an overthinker in pretty much every aspect. Okay, Sue, have a good night. Art journals are usually made with paper meant for art. Junk journals are made from anything. Okay. Oh yeah, my mom is really cool. She is actually like pretty much where I get my crafty whatever from. I inherited it from her because she was always really crafty when I was growing up. She always liked to make things for us. Um, she did a lot of scrapbooking. Now, like she's an excellent painter. She's a really good painter. Um, she's very talented. I cannot paint to save my life, but she is really good at it. Um, what else does she do? She does the mixed media. She, like I said, she's the first person that I ever saw use a gel press or a jelly plate, whatever. Um, a few years ago, I don't know when the first time I saw her do it was. Um, oh, me too, Tracy. We definitely do not get to hang out very much. Usually when they come over, they watch the kids so that Andrew and I can like go to our grief support group or whatever once a month. So like half the time when we do see them, it's only for like a hey, okay, we'll be back in 2 hours or whatever. And we don't really get a chance to oh yeah, those artist trading coins. Yep. Yep. Um yeah, she made those specifically to give to you guys. Um Yep, she made those artist trading coins. She's now getting more into like the card making side of things. They live sort of close, but not like close enough for it to really be convenient. They live about an hour and 15 minutes away. If there's no traffic. If there's traffic, it could be several hours. But, you know, it's close, but it's not close enough to like hang out all the time. And in order to get to our house from their house, you have to go across, we have these things called bridge tunnels. And you have to go across a bridge and then through a tunnel and then another bridge to get across the water to go from their house to our house or our house to their house. And the traffic gets really bad. They live west of us. Yep, they live west. So they live where I grew up, like as a child, which is in Williamsburg. Sorry this is taking me so long, you guys. I just want to get all of this gunk off of here so that when we try to use the distress stuff, we're not like getting, you know, all this residual acrylic stuff all over everything because that's gross. But we're doing really good. I was kind of worried that I would really have to take it to the sink, but this is actually going pretty well. The reason that it's taking even as long as it is because I'm trying not to scratch it. Because if you scratch it, then it will leave marks in your prints. So I'm trying to be careful not to be too rough with my nails or anything because I don't want to ruin it. And I've had this this brayer for like a million years. I just used it I used to use it with embossing folders and stuff like that to apply ink to embossed images. 3 positive affirmations. I'm not very good at that. Look, there's another negative affirmation. I'm not, I guess it's not an affirmation if it's negative, but I'm not, I guess I'm not super confident at doing those sorts of things. I should. That's a good idea. I should get a separate brayer. I should do that. That's a really good idea. I should have thought of that. That's awesome. Because this is irritating. Like, this is, wow, this is bad. I'm not even going to try to get the sides perfect, but I at least want to get some of the, hey, Dana. I at least want to try to get some of this junk off. Okay, so, oh, Dana, I meant to tell you, or respond to your comment, but Heidi said she got her pin. So hopefully yours will be there soon. because at least some of them have started, because we are switching mediums. We're gonna use some ink instead. Oh, you're so sweet. We're gonna use inks instead of the acrylic paint, and I didn't want it to mess it up, basically. Because I've only ever used my gel press with acrylic paint so far. I've never used it with the inks or anything else like that, so this will be brand new territory for me. And then I'm also going to need to get some more paper, you guys, because I don't have any more paper next to me, so I'm going to have to go grab some. And we can either do, what do you guys want to do? Do you want to do cardstock or because I have some cheapy cardstock that I can use. That will be better than copy paper, but not, you know, it's not like my good cardstock, but it's at least better than copy paper. Ink first next time. Yeah, when I started this, I certainly was not intending to do distress inks or any sort of inks for that matter. I don't even know why I'm bothering to clean this plastic. That's really dumb. But yeah, anyway, when I first started, I was only going to do the inks, or the paints, and then people were asking for the inks. So we're going to experiment and see what happens. But I don't really know what to expect. I just want to get like the main stuff that's under it. Man, I'm making a big mess. You guys use whatever you have. Yeah, I have a bunch of different types of papers. And you know what? I was actually just thinking what would be really cool is to try, and maybe I'll do this in my next video. What would be really cool is to try gel printing, or jelly plate printing, whatever it's actually called, on colored paper, on colored cardstock or whatever. That could be neat. I don't know. Might be cool. All right, let's get this side and the bottom cleaned off a bit. Nothing too spectacularly clean, but at least a little better than it is now, because we're in hot mess territory at the moment. And this will just save me a little bit of time later. And plus, we get to chat. Okay, hybrid inks work well. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we're almost there. We're so close, you guys. I'm just going to leave all the gunk around the outside because it doesn't really matter. But I do have lint on here, which is unfortunate because I'm not really sure how to get it off. But it definitely marks up your surface. I don't know, you guys. I don't know how to get the lint off. Any suggestions on how to get it off? I was thinking that the baby wipe would be good because it wouldn't have lint like a paper towel. However, yikes. It definitely still has some lint. All right, well, you guys hopefully give me some suggestions for how to get the lint off. I am going to go and grab some more paper, and then I will grab a couple inks to get us started. All right, so I'm going to use just like some cardstock that I don't like. This cardstock I really don't like at all. So I'm going to use this. Oh, rinsed it under water. That's a good idea. All right, let me move my gel plate out of the way real quick. All right, so I'm just going to do the same thing size-wise for the most part that I was doing before, which is still like A2 sized card base sized. So I'm just cutting an 8.5 by 11 sheet into 5.5. So 8.5 by 5.5. You don't remember the last time you cleaned it? Oh no. I know a lot of people don't clean them, I've heard, which is fine. But like I felt like if I was switching mediums, maybe I needed to. But if you guys don't think that I needed to, maybe next time I'll just switch. I just thought with the inks, I don't know. I wasn't sure if that was a good way to do that. All right, just 1 or 2 more sheets left. And this is the last one. Okay, so that'll at least give us some room to play with our distress inks or whatever we're using. All right. Now we've got our blanks. What I'm going to do is actually set aside all of the acrylic prints that we made so that they're not mixed in with everything else. It also clears off my desk space a little bit, which is always a bonus. And let's see. Yeah, autocorrect is really bad, and especially so in these chats. It changes a whole lot of weird stuff. Okay, so we're doing good. We've got a mostly cleanish surface to start with. Ooh, Connie, you definitely should get your gel press out. We've been having so much fun. I don't know how long you've been here, but we've been doing all kinds of fun stuff. All right, so we've got our sheets all ready to go. Let's bring the gel press back. Here we go. There's that. Okay, we've got our brayer. I'm going to move my paints out of the way so that I can actually focus on what we are doing. And just so we know, we're checking progress. This is our galaxy background as it's drying. It's still a little wet, actually. Yeah. It's a little wet still, the white paint, but that's okay. Okay. Oh, sorry, you guys. All right, so we are thinking, are we doing distress oxides or distress inks? Or some other kind of ink? You guys kind of lead the way, and I will try what you want to see. Because I have not experimented with this at all. This is all going to be brand new. I want all of those Diane Reevely... I think it's Diane Reevely is Dilutions, because she's Diane, I think. Hybrids. I don't know if I have any hybrids. I have black hybrid. A lint roller. Oh boy. It seems better now, so hopefully I got most of it off, or else it will come off in the first little prints, I hope. Distress inks. You won't see the ink on the plate very well. Just trust it's on there. Okay, that's good to know. All right, I have the whole set of distress inks. I don't have the whole set of oxides, but I have a lot of pretty colors. So I have good options to choose from with both of those. Okay, you guys want, so some people want ink, some people, oh, see, I don't have any Catherine Pooler inks. I do want them, but I don't have them yet. Let's see. So what I have is I have a lot of dye inks, which is shadow ink from Hero Arts. So I have a lot of those. I have the whole line of distress inks and a lot of the oxides, but not all of them. So let's try, I like the oxides, so we'll try those first since they're a little bit more chalky. Let's do, oh boy, you can't get them out. All right, peacock feathers. I'm going to pull out a few colors for us to play with. Let's see. I'm just picking out some of my favorites. Let's pick an orange. Okay, well that'll at least get us started. Yeah, the surface inks would take so long. That is very true. Okay, so oxides work well. Oh, that's good to know. Okay, so this is all new to me, you guys, so I have no idea what I'm doing. Do we try the same techniques that you would um, for acrylic paint, only you don't really have to brayer it? Or basically, I'll probably be using a lot more water. Is that right? All right, let's try, let's make a rainbow. Let's do that first. Okay, so I'm gonna start with pink up here at the top. And then let's do some orange. And I'm not really super worried if they kind of bleed over a little bit. That doesn't really hurt my feelings that much. And then yellow. I'm kind of angling my ink pad for this one though, because I'm running out of room already. Green. Because basically I added too much pink at the top, but that's okay. Autocorrect is getting worse, so no. And then the blue at the bottom. Okay, I was going to spritz them with water. I don't know if that is that a thing? I don't want to add too much water, obviously, but maybe just like some? I don't know. You guys, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just try it and see what happens. And then if you guys have suggestions for things that we should do, then just let me know, because I'm not super great at thinking of ideas. Oh, you wouldn't spritz it with water. Oh, okay. Ooh, you guys, that is so cool. Can you imagine this like die cut? This would be so cool to die cut like a really big word if you had a really big word. That's really pretty. They're so vibrant. They're so pretty. And then, okay, so yeah, that's really cool. All right, so then, like, just for the heck of having, you know, like the distress thing, I'm gonna spray some on my, oh, I probably shouldn't do it there though, because I don't wanna mar it or like get it scratched or whatever. So then I can do the whole distress oxide thing with my splatter brush, right? And add the little bits of water and all of that. Let's get a little paper towel action going on over here so we can get some of that off there. All right, and then let's just dry up some of it. Because I already spritzed it with water, it's already a little bit oxidized, so it's not gonna look as dramatic, I think. But what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna spray a little bit of water in my hands and do like larger blobs, and see how that works. Okay. We're gonna let it sit for just a minute and see if it oxidizes anymore and kind of what results we get. While we're waiting for that, I'm gonna grab another paper towel. I want to let it soak for a second, because the time letting the water sit on it for longer is kind of what does the more oxidized look. So giving it that time is important. Oh, we got a little bit. It's not a ton because I did spritz it with the water before, so it was already a little bit oxidized. But you can see it does have some of the splatters in there. That's really cool looking. This would be really fun to like do like a big bold black sentiment on or something. Like, I don't know. That's really pretty. Okay, so print number 1 in the books. Oh, but you know what we could do? We could layer these. I can't do it right now because I want to do other things. But what we could do is like, so let this dry and then use it like it was a regular gel press print with the acrylic paint, and then just like put black, a stencil or whatever over top of it, and you get that really bright, vibrant color. Now you just have to be careful that you don't mix it with water, because obviously then it will reactivate. But if you just have the acrylic paint in one spot, that could be really cool. Okay, so we've got one print. That's awesome. All right. Ooh, or a background dye. Yeah, for sure. That's really cool. Okay, so now we've got one print. Now you guys were saying use the brayer. So I heard a lot of use the brayer. So why don't we apparently yellow is going right there. That's cool. I dropped the lid somewhere. Let's see if I can find it before I roll over it and squash it. Okay, got it. Ooh. All right, so now we have the yellow, and then let's just do, I don't know, some like pink. And so you guys that were saying brayer it, I don't really understand. There's like a hair in it. Gross. I don't understand like what that's gonna do. It blends it a little bit, but man, it doesn't look like there's a whole lot going on for color. And maybe this is what you guys meant, that it doesn't look like anything. All right, so let's see what happens then, because it looked like there was like nothing on there. Oh, but that's pretty though. You get kind of like a muted sort of effect. Oh, more ink. Okay. But I mean, it's pretty still though. All right, so let's do, why don't we do kind of like a, I'm going to do like a sunset sort of look. So just kind of like layer it up like that. Like that. I don't know what I'm doing, y'all. Like at all. Okay. I don't have a, let's just designate one of these as like my roll-off sheet for these inks. Okay. Brayer, oh, brayer to ink pad. Oh. Okay. That's, okay. This is like one of those things that's like, I really don't know what I'm doing. And I'm just kind of making things up as I go along, and then like listening to you guys. I don't really love that. Like listening to you guys for ideas and inspiration and like what to do because I really don't know what I'm doing. This little rub off sheet is going to be really cool. Okay. So I'm trying to, okay, watch YouTubes. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's kind of organic. Like, I don't have to see what other people are doing. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't have to do the same thing that other people are doing. I can kind of do my own thing and discover it on my own, which is neat. Okay. Oh, so the cool thing is now with this one, because we didn't spray any water on it, now if I go back, I don't have anything except for my I guess I could do it on like an acrylic piece, like an acrylic block. But if I add the water over here, now again, it's not oxidized already, but it is a little like faded almost, because the ink wasn't like totally whatever. And you can do a lot of things with these splatter brushes, which is kind of why I like them, because you're not limited to just one thing. Oh yeah, totally, Dana. Sometimes I feel like it's better to just do your own thing because, well, that didn't really oxidize much, but oh well. Sometimes I feel like it's better to do your own thing because I get really bogged down with other people's ideas, and I feel like it stifles me creatively. Like I just feel, I don't know. Okay. Let's see. What else do we want to do, you guys? I feel like there are more ways that I could be using these, but I don't really know what to do with them. Like, I mean, I could certainly use them for, like, for example, I can use them some of the same way. So let's say, okay, this still has some orange on it, so it's going to be kind of a weird color thing. It's not going to be all pink, but that's okay. So I'm putting a bunch of ink on here. All right, so we've got our ink on there, and then that stencil's not big enough. Let's do, oops, oh, some of my stencils are stuck together. Let's just put this on here and see what happens. So this is just doing the same technique that we were doing. It's the same technique that we were doing with the acrylic paint, but just using the oxides. There you go. So you can use it with stencils that way to get only that little bit of color, which is really neat. So then now I can actually use that same bit of color. Like let's put it on this yellow one, right? Here. And we can layer them like we were doing the other ones. Yes. Okay, you guys, so you can use them the same way, which is really super cool. So now we're adding colors like we were before. And I think I've kind of felt like I limited myself because, oh, that's a good idea, Fatima. I didn't even think about that. I'm going to grab a couple more colors. Because, for example, I do have black. What else do we want to do? We can do like a few different, oh, I love cracked pistachio is one of my favorites. Let's do abandoned coral is one of my favorites. I like that one. Worn lipstick. I don't know. There's a whole lot of possibilities. Layering different colors on the same paper to build it. Yeah. Okay, so that's what I was doing here. And then I was thinking, remember how I said I like this one, like would be really cool with something black on it? Like I was actually thinking, like this one, I'm going to try it with the, black soot and see what happens. I don't really know what to expect, but obviously it's all about, oh yeah, that would make a really cool galaxy. See, these would actually be a really cool way to do the galaxy background, because I'm a little more familiar with the oxides and their properties and how they work. So that might actually be a really cool way. Okay, so I want what's left over. So let's just make this, I'm going to do it on top of our first rainbow background, just for giggles, just to add some and layer them up a little bit. And then I'm going to put what's left on top of that other blendy background that we were working on. Ooh, look at that. That's so cool. It's like totally crooked. That's okay. That is beautiful. I love that. Okay. And then now we can take it off and put it on this one. Here's what I'm going to do though. Hopefully so that we can get a slightly better lineup, because mine is really bad. I'm just trying to kind of see where I was putting it so that I could get the stuff lined up a little bit better. That is super cool. That's really neat. Okay, so I'm feeling a little bit more confident with this, because at first I was like, I don't even know what to do with this. Like, I don't know what I'm even doing. But the cool thing about the Distress Oxides is that the color builds the same way, because it doesn't reactivate the same way that the inks do, the Distress inks. You can really layer the color on top of it. So you see now we've got these two really, really cool backgrounds. That's really cool. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking, but the only problem is that this little thing that I have it on is flimsy, because it's just a like a stamp protector, a stamp pocket thing, and so, you know, it's not great, but I mean, it certainly could be worse. Okay, so like what I guess I would need to, oh yeah, see, that comes right off. All right, so this is good to know. So the ink, I'm cleaning off the brayer really quick so that I can use some different colors without like mixing everything too much, just because I want to see what it's like first before I start getting all my crunchies, as you guys were calling them. Okay, so if I were to, because I saw someone say brayer on the ink pad, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if I feel like that is effective. I guess we'll see what it looks like. Ah, it doesn't seem very easy. Like, I can't see it on there. I don't know if this is... I don't know if this works or not. Because I'm like not getting anything off on here. But again, it's just experimentation. Trying to figure out what works and what doesn't. And it's not the end of the world if it doesn't turn out perfectly. Okay. And then let's just go with pink, because why not? So I don't like this technique. If this is a technique, who knows? It could be awful when I flip this over in a second. But I don't like this because it's not easy to do. Because the ink pads like move all over the place. I don't feel like I'm getting any sort of decent coverage at all. Yeah, I feel like this is gonna be mud. Maybe not mud, but like I don't think it's gonna look nice. I don't know. Who knows? Yeah, I don't know about all that. I'm not sure. That looks bizarre. That's weird. So the cool thing though is, let's take, for example, I have right here this cute little simple blend from Brutus Monroe. So now we've got this cool whatever. We can take and put the stencil here, right? And then I can only put ink in the center, and then I can flip my print over, and then it will only go in that one spot, if that makes sense. So let's do, I want to do a color that's actually going to show up. And for giggles, let's just do black, because why not? That'll really show up. Now I want to be careful not to go outside of the lines of the edge of this stencil, because then it would get on my print on the outside, and I don't want that. So then what I'm going to do is take this, pull it up. What other prints do I have? Okay, so while I have this here, what I'm going to do is move it over. I'm going to do this and then just flop this down on my print on this side. And I'm going to put my little brayer piece on top of it and just rub it so that hopefully I transfer. Yeah, it's not perfect, but it is at least mostly there. I was hoping a little bit more of the bottom would go. Let's see. If I wetted it with water, it would probably work just fine. Oh, there we go. But yeah, so see, then you got the little heart, and then we can build on it from there, which is really cool. Okay, so that's cool. So we'll set that aside so it can dry. And then now I've got this on here, but now, I don't know, we'll see what happens. Let's put you like kind of off to the side. I've got my backgrounds flying all over the place. Yes! Look how cute that is. That is adorable. That's super cute. And then, you guys, I just had an idea. All right, so let's, I'm going to clean this off a little bit. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a stencil color on the background. And then, Oh, let's see, what color do we want to do? So I've got this kind of like greeny, whatever kind of thing going on. So maybe I can just use a little bit more, like some green color. Let me grab something. Like peeled paint maybe, because I want to kind of keep it like, I want to keep it sort of like muted like this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a whole bunch of ink. This is peeled paint distress oxide. I'm going to put a whole bunch of this ink on the background here. And then once I've got it all covered, what I'm going to do is find out what I did with that little heart. Here it is. It's on the outside already. I put it away. I'm going to find this little heart and put it right back on top of it like this, so that any stencil that I do doesn't get in the way. If that makes sense. Oh yeah, color burst. That's a good idea. I'm just going to use some purple tape to put this on so that it kind of stays in place, but I don't need it like anywhere specific. Okay, so now I've got my green all over there. Let's get a stencil to use. Let's just go with this floral type one, right? Then now I can flip this over and put the whole thing, but now I've got my heart area masked off, hopefully. We'll see what happens. That's cool. But see, then it didn't go on the heart. That's really neat. So there's that. And then now we can use what's left under there on something else. Like a fresh piece. Ooh, you guys, that's crazy. I was not expecting that, but that's really cool. That's really neat. I like that. This is pretty cool. And it's a little less scary than the, obviously it's a little less vibrant than the acrylic paints, but it's a little less scary because it's not so dirty. Like, this is probably what I should have started on and then built up to the acrylic paints. Because the acrylic paint is a little much to start with. Oh my goodness. This is actually really kind of neat. I like that. So then you could just go back and forth and do different things and add different bits of texture. So then now, I should probably dry this first, but now I could go back with my stencil, cover up the area so that I can only work on the heart, if that makes sense. And then you can kind of go back and forth and build texture on the different areas of your stencil, which is really, really super neat. Yes, I think you might be right. I'm not 100% sure, but I think you're right. All these green stencils, like I have like a ton of these green stencils. I think they all came in those Recollections. It was either Fiskars or Recollections, whichever one. Yes, the rainbow background. Yep, right here. I didn't do it even, so that's kind of annoying, but like they didn't end up in the same spot, but that's pretty cool. And then there was this one too, which is different, but kind of neat still. That's pretty neat. Love them. These are super cool. And then we have this little one that's still a work in progress, but we can do something else with. And then this one that we've been working on, which I'm about to do a little bit more on. This one that we just made. I think that's it. Oh wait, we have one more, a pink one. We can definitely add more to that. Okay, so now what I'm going to do then is take our stencil. Oh, it's backwards. I'm going to take our stencil, layer it back on top of here, which I may want to use some of that purple tape again, just so that it doesn't shift around too much. Belinda, silent watcher, organizing. Do you keep your inspiration boxes with items not used yet? Okay. So I have recently decided, I haven't implemented it yet, but since we're getting those cards now, I think that we're going to, well, I say we, I mean I. I think I am going to, I'm going to try something, you guys. I think I am going to try just keeping the cards, getting rid of the boxes, and I'm going to stop storing them all separately. Because right now I'm storing them all with like bags of stuff that come with it. And I just can't do it like that anymore. It's taking up way too much space, and I need to find a different solution. I lost my bubble wrap, you guys. Oh, here it is. I wanted to try the texture thing. Oh boy, it has acrylic paint dried in it, so that's fun. Okay, well, let's just try it anyway and see what happens. Okay. I can't believe that just happened. I mean, I can, because of course that just happened, but I'm gonna say I can't believe that just happened. I basically just wanted to see if this would show up on the black, which it did a little bit. Oh no, I got some pink on the bottom. Oh man. Oh well. Okay, well, did it already have pink on the bottom? Maybe it already had pink on the bottom. Did it already have pink on the bottom? I can't remember. Well, I tried. It didn't really work out how I wanted it to, but that's okay. But now I can't even remember if it had pink, so I don't know. I'm apparently not very good at memory in general. Anyhow, oh well. I like this a lot better than the acrylic paint, solely for the fact that it cleans up a lot easier. It's not as distressing, even though they're called distress oxides. Oh, the pink was already there. Okay. I was really worried for a second. I was like, how did I even do that? Like, how did I get pink all the way down there? All right, let me get these little acrylic blobs off of my gel press. Ugh. I know some of you are cringing because I should leave the crunchy bits, but I'm just not doing it. Not today, anyway. Not today. All right. So now there's some water. That's cool. All right, let's see. Let's add a little more texture to this one. Let's do, I think I have some browns. Let's add some browns. I've got some softer yellows. Oh yeah, here we go. And frayed burlap. All right, let's do a little bit more grunge. Fossilized amber. All right, let's do, I think I'm gonna try this guy. Let's try to dry this off just a little bit. It doesn't have to be perfect, but at least a little. Okay. Oop. Not tonight, but you can put Decofoil transfer gel with, oh my. Now we're getting really fancy. See, this is like, seems more opaque than some of the other ones, even though it's a really light color. So this is antique linen. That's really interesting to me, that it's showing up more than the other stuff, which was like more vibrant colors, but I don't know, that's just interesting. All right, so what I'm gonna do to hopefully make this seem like a little more random and a little less a straight line of color. So I just used a paper towel and sort of scrubbed it off. Nothing fancy. Hey Sue, that's okay. We've just been experimenting like crazy today. And now, that didn't really add a whole lot. Now we've moved from doing gel press with the acrylic paints to gel press with like distress oxides. So we're kind of all over the place, but that's okay. Let's see. That didn't really show up very much, which I'm a little bummed about, to be honest. I was kind of hoping that that would show up a little bit more. Let's try the frayed burlap, because it's a little bit darker. Gosh, I'm getting like the hiccups or something. That's irritating. Let's see. Let's take our same little bit of texture that we had from before. Add it in there. And for those of you who weren't here earlier when I was saying that, it is that little texture thing that I added is from the Dollar Tree. And it is a shelf liner. Okay. Let's go to town, see what we can get. Ooh. See, and I'm glad that I did that. Because see, like it looks more distressed and crazy looking. I don't know. Oh, you got a gel plate. That's awesome. So that looks really cool, you guys. Neat. Neat. So it's got that texture. I hope you can see that. That's really cool. But you can still see a little bit of the green poking through, which is neat. That's pretty cool. Okay, let's see. Belinda says, so do you do anything to your distress oxides to keep them from reactivating with water? I am sure that you could put like clear gesso over it or something if you wanted to seal it, or like some sort of sealer. There's a lot of different kinds of sealers you could use, like art sealers and things like that you can get that are not, or that are good for water-based stuff. I don't know any off the top of my head, but there's a lot of stuff that you could use for it, I'm sure. Okay, so what else do we want to do? I don't know. It's interesting that it got that little, I guess it's just because the stencil wasn't lined up. Anyway, let's see. What else can we do? Oh, distress glaze. That's cool. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that you can use. Actually, you know what? While we're doing this, why don't I'm going to grab my surface sprays. Although I think those are permanent. That makes me a little nervous. I do also have distress oxide sprays. What else do I have? Aqua pigments, obviously, but those are quite liquidy. Hold on one second. Let me go. I'm going to get the surface sprays and see what it's about. Let's see. Okay. So I have, and I'm worried about the sprays because obviously that's going to make a big mess. I don't know if you, let's see. Keep out of reach of children. Shake well before use. Brutus Monroe surface sprays are the same amazing formula as the surface inks. They are permanent on most surfaces once heat set and can be used as a standard mixed media spray. You can also pour some of the spray into a palette to watercolor with the spray will be permanent once completely dry or heat set. I'm a little nervous to stain them like that. I don't know. Don't spray drip on it. Oh, you mean just like take it out and then like tap it or something? I don't know. This makes me, I don't want my gel press to not be mostly clear. I know it's not completely clear, but I don't think I want to do that. Okay, maybe another day. Maybe when I'm feeling a little more brave, we'll do that. Hold on one second. Okay, so we've also got, we've got aqua pigments. The alcohol inks I want to save for another time because that's like a big thing. But we can try some aqua pigments. So I've got a bunch of aqua pigments here from Brutus Monroe. We can try some of them. I don't think they're going to work like a ton different than the oxides, except obviously it'll be like the oxides but sprayed with water. Early January 45, a few other cards. You can pull a magazine print. Stained my homemade gel print with Catherine Pooler inks. Yes. Her inks, I have heard, do stain things a lot, but that they're really, really good inks. Okay, so just for giggles, let's do like some sort of rainbow type thing with our aqua pigments. So we're going to start at the top with some pink. And I'm not really worried about if it's like a perfect rainbow or anything like that. Just some interesting color. Some orange. This is actually yellow orange. Liquid watercolors are fun. Aqua pigments are liquid watercolors, yep. I'm going to use yellow green. Oh, if I can get the lid off. You guys. Okay, here we go. I'm going to use a little more. I like her inks too. I wish that I had any. I've tried them now officially, but I have not, I haven't gotten any for myself yet. I really want to though, because her stuff is great. Okay, last color. All right. So what do we think? Do we want to brayer it and try to like spread it around a little bit? I don't really know what's going to happen if I try to do that. Now there is some ink still on here. Let me get that off real quick. At least some of it off. Because I want to have like a true representation of what the aqua pigments are actually like. And I don't want the distress stuff messing it up. All right, let's see what happens if we, oh. Well, ooh, that's kind of cool though. Oh my gosh, you guys. You guys. Oh my gosh. I just had like the coolest. Oh my gosh. Ha! You guys. Hold please. Oh my gosh. That's so cool. That is really, really neat. And then I can just go in this little area over here that has, oops, I just put my finger in it. This little area over here that has too much ink and just kind of tap it off. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. I'm a little off camera. Whoopsie-daisies. I just put my, hold on. I just put my paper into some aqua pigment juice over here on the side. But yeah, you guys, look at that. That is really cool. So that's going to take some time to dry, unfortunately. I'm not going to be able to do much with that for a minute because I'm not using any special like watercolor paper or anything like that. So it's definitely going to warp and it's definitely going to take some time to dry. But this is really cool. So now we know that the aqua pigments work really neat on the paper or on the gel press. I'm just gonna see what happens when we pick up this residual little bit here. Fatima, are you talking about the surface sprays? Ooh, look at that. You get really cool texture when it has not like a complete coating or coverage. That's really cool. And I'm wondering if, so now we have this green background. I was buffering for a second on my end, you guys, so tell me if we have trouble. Just let me know. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put down some purple. And then I'm going to do that brayer thing right? So I'm just gonna kind of try to like get the purple kind of like all over the place so that it's not a complete coating, but it's kind of like crackly looking. I don't know, that looks cool. And then let's just put this one right back on top of it. Sponge through the stencil. Fatima, I think that your messages are delayed or something. Oh my gosh, you guys. This is so cool. That's really neat. So let's add some pink. And I'm not gonna add a bunch. I'm wondering if Fatima, if your messages are a little delayed. That like splat is kind of cool. And if I kind of like rub my brayer back and forth like that, it looks like I get some cool results. Let's just go for it. See what happens. And then we're gonna have to set this one aside for a little bit because it's getting a little too wet. Ooh, that's kind of a neat combination of the purple and the pink. They kind of blend a little crazy together. But yeah, now we can set this one aside to dry, and it's got some really cool texture here, so that's neat. The other thing, let's see. Okay, let's set that one aside for a minute. Hey, Roberta. All right, so we've got some oxide prints. Now we've got some random aqua pigment prints. Yeah, I was kind of thinking about that. Now I don't have a sponge, but I have like paper towel. I have okay, so let's use the fuchsia. Yep, we're doing gel plate printing. We're using aqua pigments. We've already done acrylic paints. We've done a whole lot of stuff. We've done a bunch of things, but we're having fun, so that's cool. Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna get a clean paper towel. Whoops. And then just kind of, oh, see, it's not, the only problem is it's kind of beading up. And while I might get some texture, it more absorbs it than anything else. You know what I mean? Like it's not really leaving any of the, it's not really leaving much. I'll go ahead and take the print just to see what it looks like. Yeah, plastic would probably work better because it's so liquidy, it's just getting absorbed in the paper towel. It has some texture, but I feel like it needs more. It needs something else. So why don't we mix a little bit? So we can mix the because I have, hold on, let me look. Let me get sponge sugar of my oxides. All right, so I've got sponge sugar. Well, I mean, this is a stamp sleeve that I'm using underneath. I have some plastic around here somewhere, but I'm not that I can like crumple up. Okay, so we've got our sponge sugar. I'm gonna spritz it just a touch with water. Actually, well, yeah. I'm gonna just do like a very fine mist from like really up high, just to get it a little bit wet. And then I'm gonna plop this print that we just did with the aqua pigments into it. Oh, press and seal. Yeah, I have some of that on my, in my craft room. Yes. Okay, so see, that's what I wanted. Oh, and cool, we got a little bit of purple. That was neat. But see, I wanted to give it a background because we didn't really have anything there before. But now we have a background. So that's kind of cool. You know, now we've got, it's not just the plain white paper. All right, so we'll add a little bit more to that one. So let's get some press and seal. So I've got some right here actually. Let's just tear a piece off. Okay, so we've got that, and you guys are saying just kind of crumple it up like this. Yeah, and then what color do we want to use? Do we want to put some turquoise in there? That could be cool, because since they are water-based, we don't want to use colors that don't mix well together because, geez, I can't get the lid off. There we go. Because they will create mud. Because they will blend together. And we don't want that. So you definitely want to use complementary colors. I think that there are two, I don't know. It's helping a little bit. But I don't know, I kind of struggle with it. Oh, lime green, that would have been cute. All right, let's try it out and see what happens. All right. Wow. That's kind of crazy. I wasn't expecting it to be quite so vibrant like that. That's pretty cool. I did kind of think they were going to mix a little bit more. So once these dry, it seems like they don't really mix quite as much as I expected them to. I thought it was going to really create purple. And you can see it kind of did, but there's plenty of spaces where it didn't really create the color I thought it was going to. So that's interesting. That is really interesting. Okay. So what I want to do, I guess, is this one is still a little wet, so let's wait on that. It does look layered on. It's crazy. I really wasn't expecting that. So once it dries a little bit more, I want to try to add another color and see what happens. Let's go. So this one was an oxide print, so it's going to get a little messed up when we go to add some color to it, but I wanted to see what would happen. Let's use this one that's like yellow, yellow green, and the saran wrap thing. I want to see what happens. I'm gonna coat basically the whole background in the green, and then, oh boy, I forgot that the color was I guess I can just, let's see if I can unwrap it a bit and then like turn it on it, because I don't want to have to get a whole new piece. I really wasn't thinking about that part. I wasn't thinking. All right, let's try it this way. Hopefully it doesn't like mix too much with the green, or with the blue, I mean. I want it to be most of the background, but there we go. And then put the pink on there in the background. Let's see what happened. Yeah. All right, so the front layer was oxides. The back is, well, now it's the front, but it's kind of the back. Oh, Fatima, I hope you feel better. Oh, have a good night. That makes me so sad. Yeah, I'll have to cut it off soon eventually, because I'm going to have to like go and do adult things. But yeah, anyway, so that didn't, it's not as pretty as I hoped, because it muted the pink too much, I feel like. But it didn't blend like I thought it was going to. I thought it was going to make it really muddy with the pink. So that's kind of neat too. How are we doing over here with our, yeah, this is still pretty wet. Okay, let's do, what do we want to do? This, my poor pink, I blotted up most of it with my paper towel. That's a bummer. Okay, a galaxy with the watercolor. Maybe. Okay. I don't, though the thing is, I don't think I have black. I don't have any black. What do I have? Let's see. I do have a lot of the, oh, that's okay, Tracy. Have a good night. I can't wait to see what you make. Night, Luisana. I'm gonna be heading off soon. I was just trying to think about this galaxy thing because I'm not really sure. We'll try that, and then that'll be the last thing that I do before we go. So let's add a little bit of yellow, and I have no idea what I'm doing, so this could turn out really poorly. Oh, that's okay. Everybody's like, yeah, me too. Let me just go to bed. It is getting a little late. Let's see. Let's try this galaxy thing. See what happens. I don't know what's going to happen, but we will see. You're in bed? That's funny. I kind of wish I was in bed. Let's see, and then we can add some. Now, this could make a whole lot of mud. I don't really know. We'll find out. It's okay if it does. Sue says, not me, I'm here. Oh, Heidi, that's awesome. Have you made anything cool? I can't wait to see what you guys make. So I'm adding a whole bunch of purple around the outside. I don't have any black, but you know, it is what it is. All right, and I'm gonna just sort of like water it a little bit, and then I'm not going to, yeah, I think this is gonna make some mud, but maybe we'll get lucky and we can work with it. I can't wait to see what you make. That's so cool. Oh, that's bizarre looking. It doesn't look like a galaxy yet. If we add some black, I bet it would though. That's really neat. Okay, let's set that aside for just a second so that I can figure out what the heck to do over here. Because I got a lot of extra liquid going on the side over here. Let's see. Let's try to soak some of that up. Whoops. I went a little crazy with the amount of aqua pigment I applied. Mardi Gras, yeah. You are not lying. Okay, let's get some of that up from under here. All right, so just for giggles, let's also take a ghost print, I guess they call it, of what's left on the plate after all of that, just to see kind of what's left behind. Oh, that's actually kind of neat. Cool. Okay, well, that's good to know, just so you know what the ghost prints look like. That's kind of neat. All right, so I don't like that this is going underneath the plate. Oh well. Ew. It's all like goopy. Oh well. It is what it is, right? I'm trying to be more free in my crafting. I guess it applies to this too. Do it again and drag pick through my colors. The only thing is I don't want to scratch the gel plate because it will permanently be gross. So I'm trying to think of ways, because this is actually really cool if I just add in black. So what I was thinking is I do have black soot somewhere around here. I have the black soot, here it is, oops, distress oxide. And I was thinking if I added it like around the outside to start, let's see. Because this is kind of what I did with my galaxy that I made earlier with the acrylic paint on the gel press. And then just like maybe a little bit on the center. I don't really know what I'm doing. Let's just see what happens. Now this is still really wet, so there's a chance that this may be like bizarre because of the wetness of the pigments. It may react really oh. Well, that was way darker than I thought it was going to be. That did not work out. Wow. Super cute. That did not work out. Let's see. How can we fix it? How can we fix it? Let's see what happens if we just add some more colors on top of it. Man, I can't believe that. All right, so I'm just taking away like some of the outside stuff so that it doesn't look like a square. Let's just see what happens. Now, this is getting really wet, so it would probably help if I dried it, but I'm not sure what we're going to be able to do about that. As far as like making it with a gel press. Now I could come in with like an ink blending tool, which, you know, like I could do that, and kind of save it that way. Oh, but you know what? I was just thinking about this. What we could do, which is kind of what we did with the other one, but I do need some, I'm going to get a clean piece of bubble wrap really quick. Hold on one sec. Okay. Because the other ones had acrylic paint on them. Oh, 8:21. Gosh, it's 11:30 here. 11:22 at my house. Okay, so what we can do is put this, put the black soot back on, right? And then take our bubble wrap. Oop, okay. Take our bubble wrap. Yeah, teaching you what not to do for sure. Let's spritz it with just a little bit of water to get it moving. And then I'm going to take this and then just kind of like pounce it into the background to make it look a little less whatever. And then I can actually probably just print this onto one of my other prints. Oh, that's very ugly. That's quite all right. It doesn't really matter that much. I don't have a pigment or a white picket fence oxide. I do have a picket fence distress ink. Let's see. I don't know that it will show up, but we can certainly try it. Again, this is like all experimentation, right? Let's just try it and see what happens. Oh, except for I got like black crap all over my pigment, or all over my picket fence, which kind of sucks. Hold on, let me find something to stamp this off on, and hopefully it will go back to white. Yikes. I didn't think about the fact that it might still have something on it. I'm gonna have to try to figure out how to clean that. Okay, well, we're doing all kinds of experimenting tonight, you guys. All right, again, this is still really wet, so I don't really know what's gonna happen here, but I'm gonna have to use my heat tool in a minute, probably. I know I keep saying that, but that didn't really help at all. It just muted the whole thing like very slightly, but not really enough for it to matter. The only thing it really muted is my light colors, which I still wanted to be vibrant. So that didn't really help. What we can do though is we can kind of combine our mediums basically. And so since that's not working, I can I'll put a little bit of acrylic paint on here. Yeah, as a mixed media background. The Pearl Aqua pigment is too translucent. I don't think it will, I have it right here, but I don't think that it will, I think it's too translucent. I can try it. Let's just get like a random, I mean, I just don't think it like, do you know what I mean? Like it doesn't really, oh, you guys can't see that, sorry. Like if I painted across this whole thing, like, or even just the black parts, I don't think it really helps. Because it's too translucent, you know what I mean? Yeah, it just gives shimmer. So that would make that part of it really shimmery, which, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. But I can just add it to a couple random places so I don't waste it. But yeah, I don't really think it will help much. Let's just add a little up here. Now we've got some pretty shimmer though. Nothing wrong with that. All right, let's make sure our lid is back on. That's perfect. Need to dry the paper. You're not kidding. It is really wet. All right, let me get the heat tool. I'm going to move the gel press out of the way just so I don't ruin it. I've got my heat tool. It's going to be noisy for a bit. Ooh, it's like mud. It reminds me a little bit of Lisa Frank. It's like a very dark, grungy version of it, but it kind of reminds me of Lisa Frank. Oh yeah, the background stamps. Yeah, that's true. I think the main problem was just me using the Distress Oxide like way too liberally. At the very least, I should have sprayed it with water so that it blended a little bit. Okay. Now my paper is like super warped, but it's at least quite a bit more dry. Oh well. It is what it is, right? A wall full of graffiti, yeah. I find that a lot with some of my messier pieces that I've used or that I've made for my prints, that they kind of remind me of like graffiti, which is cool. Okay, so this definitely doesn't look very galaxy-like, but I was thinking maybe if we just came in with some of the inks, maybe we can still save it and make it work. Because like I definitely don't want to walk away with no like cool finished product. Ooh, yeah. So it does blend over top of this still, so that's kind of neat. That's kind of cool. That chalky whatever, it definitely still comes through. Oh, I don't have my my green. All right, so let's add that little bit of green back in, like here, here, and here. Right. Okay. And then we can add in some purple. Whoops. Which I don't have my pad for. Here we go. All right, so I'm gonna come back in like around the edges, I guess, with some purple. Maybe like in here. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just adding color all willy-nilly. And then let's come back in with the black soot and we'll finish it off. And then we'll just go in and add some splatters and hope that that is enough to distract from the mess that I created. I don't know, we'll see. Of the 80s, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. It kind of reminds me of Lisa Frank. I don't know. I think it's like the almost leopard print-esque sort of thing that it's got going on. I'm not really sure. Okay, so now we've got some really weird crap going on, and that's okay. It's very dark and it's very bizarre and whatever. So let's go ahead and get some actually white paint. Okay, this paint is white. We're just gonna put a little blop of white paint on there. We're gonna, whoa, throwing stuff, you guys. We're gonna spritz it with some water. And we're gonna use the splatter brush this time. I didn't use it last time, though I should have. That's fine. I was gonna try to find something to put under so that I didn't ruin my desktop or get paint everywhere, but it's whatever. Well, the stars definitely help make it seem less weird. The paint definitely helps. Noted. I don't know, they said there was some other ways you could use this, but I'm trying to think of what other ways to do it so I get different types of splatters. I don't know. I'm going to try to add some extra ones in certain spots versus others so it'll look more like there's like a galaxy over there. Like maybe on top of where the pinks, you know, the brighter colors are. Kind of focus the stars on those areas. I don't know what I'm doing. All right, and then if I add a little bit more water, whoa, theoretically, I can get some larger droplets. Not really. I was hoping that my droplets would be a little bit ploppier. But I guess that's true if I, or it would be true if I used a smoke bomb. Oh no, that's definitely not my intention. Man. Metallic aqua pigments. I do have metallic aqua pigments. I have a lot of metallic aqua pigments. I think I'm just gonna leave it alone. I think I might come back and add in some less watered down paint because I think this paint is too watery because I'm not getting any big splatters really. Oh, and you know what? Actually, I know what it is. I know what the problem is. Like why I wasn't getting as good of results. It's because of the way I was doing it. So I was using the splatter brush, which is great for little itty bitty splatters, and you can use it a bunch of different ways. But earlier, not with that. Oh, it's wet. Hold on. my little paintbrush I was using earlier. I'm gonna get it back out real quick. Hold on one sec. Okay. What I was doing earlier, which was giving me these really cool things, is like literally just like flipping it off of the edge like this so that you get these really huge splatters. And I like the ones that have the lines like that because it makes it look like there's like shooting stars and stuff. And I like that. I think it's all personal preference, like what you like and what you don't. I don't know. Everyone likes something different. But yeah, see, this is more pigmented. There we go. Meteor shower, yeah. And it'll look cool once it dries too. Like it'll look a little bit better once it dries. It won't look quite so crazy. Okay, so now we have successfully-ish created a galaxy background with both acrylic paint and a mixture of aqua pigments and distress oxides using the jelly plate, gel press. I don't know how I feel about it. It seems like a lot more work to do it this way than to try to do it with just inks themselves. I don't know. It seems like a lot more work to me. But I don't know. What do you guys think? So that is our one with the distress oxides and aqua pigments. This is the one with the acrylic paint. Just so you can see them side by side. So I mean, I don't know. Yes, they're definitely messy. It's definitely messy. But yeah, I don't know. So this is acrylic paint, and this is like the watercolory one. Yeah, that's what I got. Okay, friends, I have made a giant mess everywhere, including all over myself. So I'm going to take some time to clean up a little bit and figure out my plans for the rest of the weekend. But thank you guys so much for sticking around. This has been like a crazy long live. So I appreciate you guys sticking with me and hanging out. I will be on Monday night for sure. I don't know about tomorrow, but definitely on Monday. So I will see you guys again then. Until then, I love you all so much, and I'm sending big hugs and happy thoughts your way. Mwah. Have a good night, you